Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Terj. How are you? How long are you waiting? How patient are you? Welcome along to the Traction channel for an iRacing arcade stream. I have had a chilled week on holiday. I was at a friend's wedding. I was over in the Netherlands. It was all very, very nice. And meanwhile, back at base, back at Traction HQ, everything was exploding. I mean, the racing game industry last week just obliterated itself, really. Like, everything was happening. I was finding it very hard to try and switch my brain off. But, I mean, there was a set, of course, a rally dropping their update very last minute. We didn't know when that was coming, of course, for a while. We knew there was an update coming to a set, of course, a rally, but we didn't know when. That happened. You had all of the Nacon stuff, so unfortunately, Nacon filing for insolvency and all these things. So we covered that on the channel and on the website mostly as well. We had iRacing Arcade suddenly giving the green light for when it was going to launch this week, of course, and giving us access to that. And there was so much going on behind the scenes while I was away, trying to switch off from it all. So, long story short, I'm now back. It is what day is it today? I can't even keep track. Wednesday now. iRacing Arcade launched yesterday, and we do have a review live on the channel. However, I did not write the review. Tom wrote the review. This is my first time playing iRacing Arcade, so I've just come back from holiday, as I say, and I'm going to go straight onto this. And although I have played the preview of this game, I have not played the game itself. So this is going to be basically me playing through the career mode from the start, seeing what it's like, giving you my live impressions, live reaction to things, having had a little bit of a go on it, of course, in the past with not the career mode. That I've not touched the career mode yet. And yeah, we're just going to have some fun together. Have some chill time, chat about stuff, chat about racing games, chat about iRacing Arcade, chat about anything you like. So there we go. Good to hear, Terj. The wedding was lovely. It was absolutely lovely, yeah. I don't really have much more to add, to be honest. We just had a great time. Good catch up with some amazing friends. And we knew both parts. We were friends with both sides of the wedding, so we therefore went to this event and knew most of the people there and the families there, which was amazing. So for us, it was just like an amazing chance to see lots and lots of friends. So it was fantastic. I don't think you can test this with the wheel and pedals, right? It's all unplugged. Holo is ready to check out this game. Have to wait till the summer to play it on console. Yeah, unfortunately, I actually think this game is perfectly suited to console from what I've seen and tried. I'm just going to shift this camera a little bit. I went the wrong way with it the first time. There we go. Maybe a bit more. I don't know. There we are. Yeah, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect for console players in terms of the style of game. Pick up with the controller, have a bit of fun, have a single-player racing experience on the go that doesn't require too much effort, too much thought. You just jump in, play it, and see what happens. So it's going to be cool. Very much looking forward to seeing how it feels. But yeah, it's going to be around about NASCAR 26. Yeah, that does make sense. Assuming that NASCAR follows in line in a yearly release and in a similar sort of way. So yeah. And it probably, yeah, perfectly suited to the Switch, I would imagine, this sort of game. So, just poured myself a last-minute coffee. We did carry there's a few illnesses that have carried their way back on the plane. I'm pretty sure I was ill very recently on a Traction stream as well. I had the flu at the end of last year, which was the most ill I've been in a long time. Then it was all fine, but then I was ill for, I think we did a Ride 6 stream, and I was coming down with something, which I managed to sort of fend off, literally in February. And then we've come back from this trip, and we've brought illness back with us. I don't know, I think I'm okay, but I'm kind of like cautiously waiting to see. Thank you, Terj, for you're doing our work for us in terms of telling people to hit the like button. If you appreciate our content, if you enjoy it, if you've been to these streams before, you know how they go, do leave us a like. It's massively helpful and obviously appreciated. If you enjoy the content, you can support it with that means. But yeah, Terj is always championing the like buttons. I much appreciate that because I'm rubbish. I am rubbish. First stream, yeah, I didn't recognize the name Hollow. Welcome along. Hopefully we have a fun afternoon checking this game out. I'm going to actually start checking the game out. The controller. There we go. There we go. You didn't need to see my face that close. So this very much is a controller game. hang on. I think in moving the controller, I've actually unplugged the controller, so bear with. You can probably hear that notification. Alright, come on. No? Okay, it was working when I fired the game up earlier. Anyway, be right back. Let's just reboot that, shall we? Come on. Right, here we go. This should, in theory, work. There's a bit of a jump start there. When you go to play this game for the first time, you click one button and it doesn't work because your controller's not working. I'm pretty sure I unplugged it when I moved the controller just now to pick it up. It's a great stream. It's a great stream, absolutely. Welcome back, NY Vice. Good to see you on. How are you getting on? Just waiting for the game to to sort of stop so I can relaunch it on Steam. But I'm getting all sorts of Windows notifications saying that the USB's failed, so I'm actually going to unplug this USB properly. So bear with me a second. Again, this is going to be ugly viewing. I might need to turn off the camera for this. We'll have to see if it gets demonetized. Right, fingers crossed. I'm actually going to have to quit Steam and restart it because it's not even letting me relaunch the game yet. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's about the chat. It's about the company. Like, you know, it's all under the guise of playing a racing game, but really we're just here to have a nice afternoon, and I just love catching up with you guys. So what's everyone been up to? What racing games have we been playing? What motorsport have we been watching? I am certainly excited for a major event happening in Australia at Albert Park this weekend. Of course, you all know what it is. It is rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the 2026 Supercar Championship. That is, I'm sure, what everyone is very excited about this weekend. Dave's playing AC Rally. Amazing. The game is relaunching, by the way, guys. Don't worry. Let's just hope the controller works this time. AC Rally is brilliant. I've just got back, so I haven't actually tried the latest update yet. We were obviously expecting this update for a while, so I was ready to do a video on this update when it dropped, and then it never happened. Right. Why was this working perfectly, and now it's not working at all? Nope, still nothing. Why are you doing this to me? I mean, we can obviously play with the keyboard, but that's not what we're here for. I'm going to give it one more go, and I'm going to try, and I'm just going to unplug the controller from all ports, and we're going to do another, going to take the cable out for a little bit of a length of time, and we're going to try it again. And don't worry, if this doesn't work, I promise we're going to play iRacing Arcade. We're just going to play it a different way. But this should work perfectly. It worked literally 15 minutes before going live when I launched the game. Back in a sec. Tersh. Still waiting, still waiting. I heard a good ding. You might have heard the ding. Good news, I've got some blue lights happening on the controller, which was happening before. It wasn't happening when it was not working, so we should be good. We should be good. I'm going to have to reboot Steam again for some reason. Oh, yep. Building the new rig. Very exciting. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I'm going to build a new rig, but life hasn't worked like that. Yeah. Wait, the rig's yellow? Is it a Sabelt rig? What rig is it? What rig is yellow? Oh wow, I've got some great comments. I need to get to. I see Alex in the chat, former Traction legend. Alex Patsky, welcome. How are you getting on? I have been good, thank you. I've been good. I have been, wow, just flat out this year, planning lots of stuff, playing lots of non-sim racing titles. To be honest, we've had so many games that have come up that are not sim racing releases. It's actually been a mad start to the year for kind of like, not necessarily arcade racing games, but just racing games that aren't sims in general. And this is just the latest one in that line. Obviously, you'll have, I'm sure, be keeping very keen eye on how everything's going with this, Alex. And yeah, I hope you're good though. I hope you're enjoying your time with iRacing, and yeah. Yay, the controller's working. The controller's working. We're good. Oh, I thought you meant the rig was yellow, Tersh. Right, okay. Okay, let me just very quickly, because we've now got the controller working, before I miss some of these questions from earlier. Have I tried multiplayer? I tried multiplayer in the preview build. It wasn't quite ready, but we basically tested if it worked, and it was okay, but it was a little bit kind of laggy. I've heard that multiplayer, since the actual game has released, it's also we've covered multiplayer in our review, which again I didn't personally take part in, but Tom reviewed the game, tested it with a few colleagues while I was away, and it worked, but it wasn't perfect. There was some weird latency things where the cars weren't quite moving naturally live. It was a little bit difficult, and I'm not sure if that's been improved since launch, so maybe we'll try it a little bit later. So yeah, we shall see. And yeah, I reckon this game will be great for Switch 2 Never Quit 69. Don't know, but I would imagine so. It feels like that sort of game, right? It definitely feels like that sort of game. Right. We are here. Welcome to career mode. Oh, amazing. I thought you might have had an involvement, Alex. I didn't know exactly what you'd be involved in directly, but that's amazing. So we'll definitely be checking out some of those suits and liveries. Welcome to career mode. We're going to begin now. Sorry it took so long with all those controller issues, but I just needed to use a different USB port. Looks like you're getting ready to race. The season is just getting started, and each week brings new events to compete in. If you finish top 3 of a series, you'll earn the next series car as a gift. So be sure to check out Free Play to practice ahead of your races. We're not doing that today. We are going straight in at the deep end. I have obviously done some races with the preview build, so I know how it works in terms of the actual races, but we will, of course, be getting better with time. If you earn enough money, you can finally upgrade this place. I'm going to say, it says place, but really we're talking about like a campus here, which is really cool. So let's race. Now, to start off with, as I say, this is the first time we've launched career mode, so we've got a garage. We can buy cars, and edit drivers. As soon as you launch the game for the first time, you do this sort of license test, which is really not a license test. You do one lap in a Fiat 500 to make sure your controls work, basically, and the time you need to get to pass is super easy, and that's literally it. You get given a Fiat 500 for winning that license or passing the test, and that's why we have our one car here. But as you can see, we can go to the buy car section, and there are credits associated with each car, and there are also cars that are blacked out, so we haven't been able to unlock them until we reach higher team levels. But there are 3 cars currently available to purchase: the Fiat 500, the Touring car, the Formula Junior, but we have no money, so we can't afford any of them. Also, on the top right of the screen, you can see that we've got 1 out of 2 cars, so we also only have 2 garage spaces at the moment. So these are all things we're going to have to build towards as part of the career mode. You can obviously go in and edit your car. There's some of the different liveries. Again, we have to buy the different styles, so that's for the future. And these are some of maybe the styles that Alex has worked on, which is really cool. So if we use one of yours, Alex, let us know, or let us know what the names are. And it looks like for free, we can actually change the color of the car. So that's good to know. We're going to stick with the default for now, though. We want to get into some races. We've got stats here as well with the car. As you see, I've done 1 minute 51 seconds in the Fiat just to do that kind of license test. And we've got other stats about race finishes, laps completed, stuff like that. So that's very cool. All right. Week 1, race week. Very clearly, you're being taken straight into an event without seeing any of the campus stuff. So we'll come to that a little bit later, I guess. Let's enter the series. It's the Fiat 500 Challenge, Lime Rock Park, week 1. And I want to do it the hard way. I want to do it with a challenging difficulty level just to see how we get on. You can either race or withdraw. Very simple. I know that these things get more complicated as we go on because I have seen our review and I've spoken obviously to my colleagues who've played this game. So I have a bit of an idea of what's to be expected. And then you've got the difficulty level. So you've got Amateur, Pro-Am, Pro, Master, and Superstar. So 5 difficulty levels you can select from for the career mode. I'm going to go straight out with Superstar. We're going to give it a go. I will dial it down if I'm struggling, guys, but I want it to be challenging and authentic. I don't want to just be rattling through every race with race wins, no problem. So we want to add an element of challenge in here. So we're going to try the Superstar's difficulty and then see how we go. I will probably massively regret that, but pretty sure we can choose different difficulties for each event. Okay, Lime Rock Park, Fate 500 challenge, looking magnificent, 3-lap race. And are we at the back of the grid? Yeah, we're P12 on the grid. Alright, race 1. iRacing Arcade. We'll talk more about the game as we go through it, of course, and test stuff. But the simple premise, you've got position top left with the leaderboard. On the bottom left, you've got a kind of health meter from 0 to 100. So if you take damage, that'll go down. So if we have a big collision, you should see that drop. You've also got fuel and tires. This Fiat 500 is slow, so you get to start off in a properly slow hatchback, and I guess every corner will be either flat out or nearly flat out, especially at Lime Rock Park. We're already struggling for any sort of momentum or speed, though, against the AI on Superstar. Come on. Whoa. Was this too ambitious a start? I'm in a crazy battle for the back row here, but because I started last, we had no qualifying. It's just straight in, so I think I'm going to finish right near the back. I have no speed. And no slipstream. Right, come on, Fareed, work with me here. Flat out through turn 1. Probably lost a bit of momentum there. Now, you'll be able to recognise Lime Rock Park if you haven't played this game or seen much coverage of this game. You'll recognise Lime Rock Park, but you'll notice it is a bit different. Obviously, the miniature version of the circuit, which I think is just a beautiful design. I love the way that they've taken real-world circuits and then made them smaller, but they've obviously made small tweaks as well to make that sort of style work. So it's not like a 100% accurate representation that's been shrunk. It's sort of a cute miniature version where the track is almost identical, but not exactly the same. So there we go. New best lap time. I mean, I was nowhere on Superstar difficulty. I think we really need to qualify. My best lap time, look, 29.0, so I had the slowest of everyone. We might need to dial it down 1, and we'll try and find our level. But we get 2 points in the championship, so that's absolutely useless. There's the podium. We are not on it. We'll give everyone a round of applause, though. Alright, so we get some money. We've completed our first race. When you complete the week's race, press end race week to move on. So right now, there's only 1 race in the week, so that's fine. But that will definitely change as we move through the calendar. This is a quick look at the calendar. So you've got different series. Fiat 500 Challenge. My face is hiding it, so give me a second. Just right of that, we've got the IMSA Pilot Challenge, Formula Junior Cup. And then you've got F4, which is locked, Porsche Cup Sprint, Porsche Cup Endurance, IMSA Endurance, VP Sports Cars Cosworth, VP Sports Car, IMSA, IMSA Endurance. So there's lots of different kind of championships, but right now it's just the kind of first 3 that we've got unlocked in this first season, I guess. First race has been terrible, so we're going to actually, before we end the race week, I'm just going to check our goals here. To increase your team level, you need XP. You can earn XP by completing goals. Okay, that sounds good. Now, what are the goals? Because if it's to win races, it's not been a good start. There are a variety of goals you can complete. Let's browse through the tabs and see what goal we can achieve next. All right, so Fiat 500 Amateur Champion, Pro-Am Champion, Pro, Master, Superstar. All right, okay, so actually there is a sort of... You can gain XP for completing it at each different difficulty level, but obviously the harder it is, the more XP you will gain if you complete it. So I guess if you win it in Masters, you probably get all 4 of these. You don't have to actually complete it in all the different difficulties. So that's good. There's actually a kind of benefit to doing a harder difficulty. And I'm assuming that's the same all the way down. It looks very similar. Overtakes, that's cool. So the more overtakes you do, the more XP you can gain. Equip 3 unique visors, so unique liveries. All right, doing livery customization, suit customization, all of those things also wins you XP. So these are just great little micro goals, something to work towards. And then you've got campus goals as well. So you've got level 1, 2, 3, 4 chassis shops. You've got engine shops, R&D, Team HQ. So different elements of the campus too. That's really cool. So plenty to work towards once we actually get into this properly. Let's just end the race week. Can we change the difficulty level? We'll have to wait and see. We got a little glimpse of the campus there, but we can't quite go in and view it properly yet. So all the tracksters in this game all the cars are automatic in the sense that they've essentially got one gear. So everything's miniature. It doesn't make sense to have manual shifting in this game. But the cars, there's quite an interesting way they've done it with the sound, where it's like every car has one gear, but they still manage to get that sort of authentic engine note, which is quite cool. So yeah. I enjoyed it too, Pushbot. I enjoyed it too. And welcome back, Bikuter. Good to see you again. Hope you've had a good week. Stage 2, let's do it. Can we change the difficulty level before this next race, or are we locked in for the championship? If I click race, I think we might be locked in for the championship. No, we're not. Alright. We'll do master then. We'll downgrade by 1, and we'll see if that's any easier. And then we'll keep downgrading until we find my level. Okay, Maple Ridge. This is one of the kind of fictional Circuit Superstars venues. Brought to life from this chase cam dynamic. Ah, it's reverse grid. Okay, that's good. So now in Masters difficulty, we're starting on the front row because we finished 11th. Straight into the leads. So once again, I've got Fareed on my tail, who didn't manage to get past me in the last race. Fareed's already been passed though. And I'm already kind of building a gap here. We'll have to see how the reverse grid works, whether it's just reverse grid of the previous race result or if it's like reverse grid of the championship position. I would imagine it's going to be championship position. But we've built up a massive lead now. At Lime Rock, it did feel like the AI were faster like on the straights. Now, they obviously had a bit of, most of them anyway, had a bit of slipstream going. But I definitely felt like they were a little bit quicker on the straights. Didn't have many corners that you actually had to brake for at Lime Rock, of course. This one's a little different. Just 3 laps. Yeah, look, massive leads. We'll have to see the lap times, but we were slowest in the last race. Are we going to be quickest in this race? It certainly looks like it. So we might have to do some work to kind of find our ideal difficulty level here. The trees are beautiful. Yeah, like it's interesting because when I first played this game back in like I think I'm talking about the demo, the Tsukuba Porsche 911 demo. And then, of course, we got our hands on that sort of preview build for our Everything You Need to Know video, which I definitely recommend checking out. If you're thinking about buying this game, watch our Traction review, but also watch our sort of Everything You Should Know, or or your questions answered about iRacing Arcade. What I did realise was when I was first playing it, I thought, oh, this just looks a lot like Circuit Superstars. But when I then back-to-back compared the visuals on this game and also Karting Superstars and Circuit Superstars, I realised how different and much more rich the colour palette was for iRacing Arcade. Like the lighting and the time of day effects and stuff like that are really cool. Yeah, best lap for me there by 0.2 of a second. So I've gone from slowest to fastest. We're now 4th in the standings. I guess that means we'll be somewhere towards the back of the grid, so maybe we'll try that difficulty one more time. Our first win. I believe, Tomac, the season is 7... Sorry, the career is 7 seasons long, but the seasons get... The first season is not sort of a long season. I think it starts quite quickly. So if I go in calendar, I'll give you a bit of an idea. So, based on what I've seen, you can see at the top left, you've got Season 1, Week 2. So, seasons work as essentially, kind of like iRacing, actually, as 13-week seasons, okay? So, within those 13 weeks... there are races each week. So week 1, you can see here we just had one race, which was the first race of the Fiat 500 Challenge. Then week 2, we've just had one race. Week 3 is one race, which is stage 3 of the Fiat 500 Challenge. And then week 4 is stage 4. Then it looks like on week 5, the Fiat 500 Challenge is over, but we get the first stage of the next series, which is the Michelin, or the IMSA Pilot Challenge. that lasts for 4 races, and then it looks like we've got Formula Junior Cup. So that's what, 12 races in Season 1? And then a Fiat 500 Endurance, a special event on week 13, much like they do on real iRacing. But then for Season 2, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there are more, like you can see here, team level unlock new events. So even though the first season will rattle through quite quickly here with 12 races, you can clearly make the seasons a lot longer because there's lots of different championships to unlock. There's one Team 5, the IMSA Pilot Endurance Challenge. Team level 15, 17, so there are lots of different series which you'll be doing each season, and I think that'll add a little bit of longevity to it. But I don't actually know how long it is. I don't know how long it takes. Stage 3 looks like there's a top 3 reward is the touring car, so that'll get us into the next championship. So we need to finish top 3. We're currently 4th, but we won that race. So now, let's advance. Well, let's see if did we get any goals? I don't think we're going to be there with any of them yet. Overtakes. You've got like last to first challenges as well, which is cool. Like all sorts of there's basically, you know, drawbacks and benefits for all the different positions in the races and the number of races you've done as well. Pole positions. We haven't done any qualifying yet. Races without penalty, clean sweeps. All right, wicked. Okay, there's lots to do here. There's your 7 seasons to complete, your money to earn, and your boosts as well. So we'll just start racking up those goals, and I'm sure it'll, well, hopefully it'll give us a notification or something when we complete a goal. We'll have to find out. Let's end week 2. No campus building elements just yet. We've still got to level up the team a bit more. We need 100 XP, it looks like, to get to level 2. Okay, Sugar Hill is next. 4th in the championship, which means, in theory, we should be 9th on the grid. So let's see if that works out. See if it's reverse championship order. We'll go our Fiat 500, and we're going to go for... We'll stick to Master for this one, because if we're back in the pack, we'll get our first chance to sort of race through the pack. And then we'll judge it from there. I'm not going to watch this animation every time, but your car basically gets dropped off on the trailer, which is really cute. I wonder if as you upgrade the campus as well, that pickup truck and trailer combo gets upgraded. Because we saw in the demo you get dropped off in a full like race articulate lorry. So it'd be interesting to see if that's part of the development paths, if you actually sort of get a better drop-off vehicle, let's call it. Okay. 9th on the grid, so it is reverse championship order. Let's see if we can pull off a win from back here. This is the second of our kind of fictional Circuit Superstars circuits, but totally different from a chase cam perspective. I'm going to try and, like I was going to say I'm going to try and race cleanly, but this is iRacing Arcade, so there isn't really such thing as racing cleanly. You sort of have to send it down the inside, and you're going to get smashed out the way by the AI. You just have to be on the inside of each of the corners, but there's nuance to it, but you can't really race super clean. And online racing, obviously, you can try, but there's a certain level of iRacing Arcade, which is, as long as you're not deliberately crashing into people, you can just send it. I mean, it's, first of all, it's offline single-player racing, so it doesn't matter anyway, but it's kind of the way you race on this game. I'll do my best to try and race cleanly, of course. It looks like on this difficulty, we can quite quickly make our way through the field. Furries once again at the front. Easy down the inside. Do a sort of block pass. This is the second highest difficulty, so this is, what's it called, Master, I think? I will check. I think it was Master. 3 laps, we're on the final lap, we've got loads of fuel. Of course, the further you get into this game with endurance events, and I guess the Formula 1 car, the GTP for instance, you're probably going to have to do fuel stops and tyre stops mid-race. In this Fiat 500, we've of course got nothing to worry about on that front. I did see the special endurance event on week 13 at Tsukuba. But I'm guessing this is like almost like a tutorial championship really, because there's no qualifying, 3 lap races, no pit stops, you're just straight in, do the race. No possibility of getting a clean sweep when you can't even do a qualifying lap. But there we go, P1, another victory. We for some reason just got a, finish in a podium position, we just got a Steam reward, so apparently winning is not a podium. Oh no, that was a win, so I don't know why we got that one then. But yeah, once again, fastest lap, only by 4 thousandths of a second. So pace-wise, we're actually pretty close to the fastest in this sort of difficulty. But we're up to 2nd in the championship. Do I risk it and go for the hardest difficulty for the last race? Do I risk it, guys? What do you think? Do you want me to up the difficulty and try the hardest again on maybe a tighter circuit than the first one? If you say yes, I'll give it a go. Of course, says Vlog Life Jasper. Or Jasper. Right, there you go. Goal complete, 15 overtakes, which means our team is leveled up. Superstar difficulty is brutal. It's just, let's try it. Let's try it. I just don't want to necessarily have to repeat these early races, but I think it's fine if we fail, because we can maybe buy the touring car if we don't earn enough. You know, if we don't win it, we can maybe buy it. Let's see. We're team level 2 now anyway. On to race week 4. Still no management elements yet. That's fine. Tsukuba, let's try it. I mean, Tsukuba's a twisty circuit. I know it well. Let's give it a go. Second to last on the grid. Let's try it. What could possibly go wrong? Superstar difficulty. 2,775 credits for first place. I think that's not the money we win. That's the money we go up to, surely. Or is it because of the championship race, maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know. All right, let's try it. Back of the grid, of course. Kanda. We basically need to stay right behind Kanda. Urusaya. But I think the difficulty spread. You can see in the previous one, on the second to highest difficulty, there was like a difficulty spread. The cars at the front were faster than the cars at the back. Right, we're going to have to be bold here. I'm already nervous after that first corner. Just dropping back out the slipstream. Come on. AI need to make mistakes too, but in these Fiat 500s, I guess, they're maybe less likely to make these huge mistakes. Oh, there we go. There's some mistakes. All right. Good start. P9. Use the slipstream. Massive pack up in front. We'll slip down the inside here. You just have to be on the inside, basically. It's just all about like car positioning and timing. And then it's, you know, if you've got some clean space, then it's about actually lapping fast. But look at this. Massive race pack on the outside. That's good. Nadia's following us through. Yes. Okay, my lap 1, turn 1 nerves have sort of receded slightly, but it's still going to be chaos from here to the end because I've now got no slipstream. Come on. So maybe Lime Rock was different because there was no braking zones in Lime Rock. Maybe the AI are just rapid on these kind of higher speed circuits with less corners. Right. Come on, Marta's in second. We're going to block the inside. We're going to sort of hang them out to dry a little bit. A little bit of parking on the apex. Nice. Last lap, come on. First Superstars win. Okay, so basically last and then first in every race since then. Okay, so it's possible. It's clearly possible. We got our first place. We improved the series standings up to the first. We've actually won the championship. Excellent stuff. And we had fastest lap. Okay, so weirdly different from the first race, but here we are. Taking the title. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. What does this mean now? What happens next? So we get our first championship. Of course, that means we finish top 3. So that means we get our reward car, which is this beautiful touring car. Sponsored by Genuine Chocolate Milk, of course. Sorry, Crocolate Milk. 30 overtakes. Okay, so the first place finish goal is actually for championships, not for races. That's good to know because we've just completed that for the first time. We get our amateur champion. We get our pro-am champion. We get our pro champion. We get master champion. Now, we shouldn't get superstar champion because we didn't do every race in superstar. But let's just see. Perfect. Okay. So That's really good. So you can change the difficulty midway through the season if you're struggling, but you obviously can't get the XP for the reward unless you do the whole season on that difficulty level. That is perfect, honestly. I'm glad it doesn't force you. You know, if you pick the wrong difficulty, you wouldn't want to be stuck on that difficulty for the whole series. So that's really, really good that you can change every race. And obviously there's benefits to not doing that. So, excellent. There's our beautiful little trophy. Oh, we get 4 trophies, do we? For the different difficulties? Yes, we do. And we're all the way up to team level 4. Okay, does this mean we finally get to do some campus building? Or does that come at the end? Right, manage week 4. Hey, there we go. Alright, first season complete. Welcome to the campus. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. After each race week, you'll be able to manage your campus by buying new buildings, each with unique perks. Let's start by upgrading your garage. Okay. So we have a garage at the moment. It's just a barn, as you can see in the background there. Select your garage to view the options, then press upgrade. Okay, so L1 to select, that's fine. Oh, okay, cool. So we can take a little wander around our campus. So you've got... Wow, okay, how far does this go? Instant need to try and escape the map. Okay, so it starts at this corner here. That looks like, I guess, the town. You've got gas, you've got a cafe, a car wash. I don't think you can go down that road at all, so you're just going, yeah, you're basically forced to go straight down this road. Or you can come over here. There's another kind of car park. The camera controls are a little bit all over the place here. Can't zoom out by the looks of it. Oh no, I'm talking absolute nonsense. I can zoom out by using L2. Okay. So I guess this is all like usable space, or it's going to become usable space. Then over here, you've got more kind of buildings. I guess this is just the town around us, I'm going to presume. I might be totally wrong. Or an old railway line as well. Okay, so I feel like this is our square. So you can start in that corner. It goes to this corner, I'm going to presume, where the railway line comes around. All the way over here. Yeah, follow the railway line, essentially, and then back to this road. Okay, so that looks like our kind of, let's say, workable square. And then right in the middle of that right now, we have our humble little garage. We can't do... I've clicked the wrong thing, but anyway. We maybe can make road changes right now. It says buildings can be upgraded. You can also have multiple buildings of the same kind. Okay. So can I relocate a bit of road? Yeah, okay, so I can build a road and basically move it around. Interesting. I pressed the right button. Okay, that's good to know. And then it said to click on the garage, so let's do that. Garage is tier 1, provides 2 garage slots and enables equipping up to 1 boost. We can't afford to upgrade that right now. Oh, no, we can. Ooh, should we upgrade it? We got given a touring car, so I think we're meant to maybe upgrade it. Now, can we build it here? I want to put the garage right in the middle. There you go. There are more buildings you can build. Okay, check them out in the build menu. When you're ready to race again, press start race week. Okay, so we spent all our money. Let's hope that wasn't a disaster. I think we were meant to do that. So, let's see. 1978 is not happy. Game's utter trash, not even got matchmaking, refunded instantly. It definitely feels like a single-player focus game. Which, to be fair, we've been calling out for racing games, but it depends on whether you're a casual racing game fan or a sim racer or all of these things. There are, of course, multiple games for single-player, and there's multiple games for multiplayer. So it just depends on where you lie, where you sit in the spectrum of sim versus kind of something in the middle that's like, what was it, Nacon used? Sim light games? What we traditionally call, or some people would call like Simcade, but racing games that are realistic but not fully simulation physics. And then you've got arcade games. This is an arcade game, so it depends on where you fall on that line and whether you like single player experiences or multiplayer. This feels like a single player focused arcade game. What else can we build? So you've got the garage, you've got an engine shop which produces boosts that modify the engine power, you've got a chassis shop which affects tire wear, grip and slipstream. And then you've got R&D and stuff. So maybe our Fiat 500 was slow in the straights because we haven't upgraded it. Maybe we need some boost to be able to win on that difficulty level. Decorations and trophies as well. Okay, so there's your road, which is free. Porta potty, trees. Okay, so there's lots of things you can save up money for. You also have to upgrade your team level to have cafes and bike racks and bus stops. So you can build a kind of whole world, I guess. And then you've got engine shops and stuff. I've blown all my money on upgrading the garage. Honestly, I thought I was meant to do that. I maybe wasn't. I think I misunderstood the tutorial. So I'm going to have to just, like, absolutely wing it on no money and without any upgrades. I think I've upgraded the one thing I didn't need to upgrade, which was boost slots and number of cars you can own, because I don't think I have any boosts until I get the other the other garages. So we're maybe on the back foot, but it's fine. We'll live and learn. We should also be able to edit our touring car now, so we can put a livery on it. Oh no, I can't edit the livery because I of course spent all my money. We can edit the color though, so I mean let's... I'm probably easier using my keyboard for this, to be honest. We're going to do a quick control switch. Can we go for like a kind of traction pink thing going on here? Maybe not. Maybe let's go for a green. We'll go for like a lighter green color. With some whites. And then what, black? Green, white, and black? We'll start with that. We'll keep it simple for now. And then we've got like a kind of grey. Ooh, yeah. Let's go with that. And there's our stats for the touring car. Completely empty. So you've got nothing there. We can also edit our driver. Well, I guess in terms of multiplayer Hollow, one thing I would say, Circuit Superstars had multiplayer. This does have multiplayer, don't get me wrong, but Circuit Superstars also had like a kind of lobby-based multiplayer where you enter a code and you can race cross-platform and stuff. And Circuit Superstars multiplayer worked really smoothly, I think. Like whenever I raced against friends in a group, we actually had a lunchtime races, a championship going at Grid Finder and Traction back in the day, and that was amazing fun. And everything looked really smooth and clean. It wasn't absolutely 100% like racing AI, but it was really, really clean. Whereas it seems like on iRacing Arcade, from what I've seen, it's not quite as clean an online experience. So I don't know why it's gone sort of downhill in that department, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But so I think it's more like, obviously it clearly doesn't have a deep multiplayer experience. It's a single player focused game, but you still want the multiplayer that is there to be good. So I just hope that that's something that can be improved. Let's say. I was hoping it would be improved on launch. We can't afford any different helmet designs yet. We can't afford any fancy suits. Again, Alex has probably done the designs for these, so shout out to you, Alex, if you're still watching. I guess we can... Oh yeah, you can buy different visors, so we need some money for all of these things. You can change this color of your suit. You guys can all do this in your own time if you play this game, though. I know I'm not going to spend too long on this just now, because it's a bit time-consuming. It's nice to see what you can do, but we're here to race. So let's just... I mean, the helmets as well. We can't really do a helmet design yet. So we'll stick with a plain white helmet until we can afford a design. You can also pay for different, different, like, I guess, stances in the menu. That's cool. So, I mean, it's stupid, but I love it. A little bit of personality to the game. Do they cost the same? Yeah, they all cost the same. Yeah, I'll make the next car our channel color. Oh, and that's our... Oh, okay, so you've also got driver stats here too. So you can see here, my face is just hiding it, but you also have full driver stats. So I've got 1 first place finish, 2 podiums. That's obviously... First place finishes is a championship, not a race finish. Time driven, distance driven, races finished, all that kind of stuff. So that's all great. Yeah, I can very quickly make my suit traction-y. I can't... There's no hex code on this, so I can't quite get the exact traction pink. I've just kind of got to sort of guess it. Pink, that'll do. We can make the helmet pink as well. It's almost a Piers Pryor-esque helmet design. It's very difficult to get the right kind of shade. Anyway, that'll do for now. We'll come back to all that. Okay, so shall we? You've kind of seen what the campus is going to become. I need money, right? I need money, so I need to go and race. We need to move on. Yeah, don't worry, Gloy. Don't worry. We're gonna get some racing. We just need to show a bit of everything. So the Michelin IMSA Pilot Challenge at Knockhill, first race. Yeah, let's race that. 5 laps and not kill. Count me in. Touring cars. We're going to, once again, we're going to start and try Superstar. Let's see how we get on around not kill. My home track. Not played it yet in this game, but very curious. Looks like the touring car's got a slightly fancier... Yeah, there we go. We've got a full closed-top trailer now. So that's an upgrade. I don't know if that's because our team level upgraded, or if it's because it's a touring car and not the Fiat 500. So, let's see. I'll let you know, Gloy. I'll let you know. It feels... I mean, compared to the preview that I drove more recently than the demo, it feels very similar. And that did feel similar to the demo in terms of the physics. But, of course, the demo was just one car and one track, so physics-wise, it doesn't really give you much of an idea. But, yes, very similar, I think, to the demo. Is the chicane flat out in the touring car? Yeah, easy. Maybe too many flat out corners for us to do without perks at the moment on Superstar, but we'll try send it to the hairpin. Get one position at least. Okay, P10 was 5 laps, so we've got a bit of time. Flat through Duffy's Dip. Couldn't quite send it down the inside there. Okay, AI are crashing into each other and ghosting and getting slowed down, so that's great for us. A few more positions. Oh no, the AI aren't quite flat through there, so there's another position. You've just got to watch you don't get kind of knocked into those bollards and get a cut track penalty. Well, that AI has done that completely on his own volition. That's fine, up to P6. Send it down the inside of the hairpin. Oh no, too much contact. No! No! I was too bold with my hairpin move. Now I'm going to get boxed in a little bit. Nothing I can do. Okay, nicely done. The racing is fun and frenetic, like, especially I think in these slower cars from what I've gained so far, like, just the sort of pack racing. It's almost like Moto 3 in like miniature version. Just the way you can race in a pack of 5 or 6 and you could change 5 or 6 positions in one straight or one corner and then get them all back the next, which I really enjoy. Oh no, get off the grass. Nope, 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 nope. Block the inside. Ah, bit of a mistake. Did you realise the tyre bar has no effect on tyre wear, feel and grip? It's at 75% right now, so it's too early for me to say whether I can feel the difference, but I know in the past you definitely can feel the difference, and from the preview I was driving, when you get low grip, yeah, you definitely notice it in the lap times. I'm not fully up to speed yet to be able to, like, I'm not driving well enough to really tell, whether 20% makes a big difference, but I know that in theory you should definitely be able to feel the difference when you lower the tyres, and I've felt that in the past for sure. P6 in the first race, so right in the middle of the pack. Oh, I don't know if we can get top 3 with this Superstar difficulty, but I want to try. That was from the back of the grid, to be fair, so maybe we'll have a better chance from 6th on the grid. We will just then go back to the back of the grid, of course, if we then get into the lead of the championship, so it's very difficult. We're up to team level 5. Chassis shop unlocked. Engine shop unlocked. R&D. Oh, so none of these things were actually unlocked anyway, so we couldn't have done any purchases, I don't think. So that's fine. Manage week 5. I don't think there's really anything we can do. I'm going to save up for one of these buildings. Yeah, we're going to have to save up a little bit, I think. That's okay. We'll do this championship first. I'll keep ploughing through them. Yeah, I think Tomac, to be fair, on the last race, though, I started 11th at Tsukuba, and then I won the race. So it's definitely possible. It just depends on how the AI kind of spread themselves out. So on that race, I wasn't fast enough to go from last to first. That's fair. But then because of the way the championship works, in terms of the reverse grid for the championship order, I think it's okay. So everyone at the front of the championship will start at the back. And if there's not enough time for us to get through, then it just means the championship sort of compresses, which is what you want. And I think the slower cars start at the front, from what I've seen, because there is definitely a variation in lap time between the people that finish at the top and the people that finish at the bottom. So we shall see how we get on here. Should be, yeah, 7th on the grid this time. So all the people ahead of us in the championship are behind us on the grid. So let's see if we can fight our way through on Superstar difficulty to the front from the middle of the pack. We've done this track already in the Fiat. You got to try so hard to avoid track cut penalties, basically. Nope. Forced back out wide from Lawrence after I forced someone else wide previously. Oh, we're in a proper midfield scrap. P5. P4. That's alright. Slot back in. That's good. Maybe try the outside here. Because then we get the inside for the right-hander. Oh no, we're going to get sandwiched here if we're not careful. Yeah, look at that. Oh, straight away. And then boom, we're in 7th. So we're right back to where we started, just from one corner that didn't quite go our way. And that's what the racing on this game, I guess, is all about. You just got to pick your position and get it right, and it's just absolutely frenetic on that front. Play it safe, go down the inside here. Back up to 4th. Okay, we've still got 2 laps to go. Done a tiny bit of damage to myself, 2%, that's okay. So easy to drop a wheel on the grass as well by accident, which does seem to slow you down a tiny bit. Let those two battle out in front, I'll take advantage. Yep, nice. P3. No, Marta, leave me alone. No. That is a great opportunistic move from Nitha. We're back down to P4 again. Ah! It's so intense. Right, last lap. Come on, I really want a podium. Yep. Oh no. Cannot get... Okay, there's a huge pack right behind me, so I cannot get on the wrong side of this pack here. I need to be very careful with what I do through these last few corners. We'll sneak it down the inside there. Okay, I feel bad. A little bit of contact. Did what I had to do. Should hold on to P3, hopefully. Let's just cover the inside. Yeah, nice. All right, P3, so it's not a win, but from where we started, that's a pretty good race. That's good fun. Yeah, I don't think there's wet weather yet. But I do think there is. Yeah, there definitely is tire wear. I don't know about wet weather. I don't think there's wet weather in this game. But there's still... Also, I should add, there's going to be more content coming when the game releases on console in summer. And then there are also DLC packs confirmed as well. Adriana has got 41 points. Absolutely flying out in front. We're 3rd in the championship, so we're under pressure here to get into our top 3. We're 3rd at the moment, but I don't think we're going to win the championship. I want to try and complete the season on Superstars. We're going to try and grind this properly for the challenge. But we've got our another goal for overtakes. We're already up to team level 5, so that's gone quite quick. Okay, manage week 6. Now, do we have the money? 2,300? I think it's 2,500, isn't it, for the... Yeah, we're almost there, and then we can pick a boost. Someone's asked... Gloy, sorry, asks, how often are there endurance races in the game in career? Well, I don't know yet, but there are... First of all, there are endurance championships. So if I go along here, there is the Porsche Cup Endurance there. There's also the IMSA Sports Car, or IMSA Endurance, I should say. So there are a couple of championships, which I think are endurance championships. Because there's Porsche Cup Sprint as well, and Porsche Cup Endurance. And then also, if you go down here to week 13, which we're going to get to eventually, there's also the Fiat 500 Endurance Special event. So that's... I think there are special endurance events on week 13 as well. But we're now halfway through our first season. As I say, the seasons will get longer as you unlock more series. Of course they will, and the races will get harder. So for now, and also the campus building stuff can take up as much time as you want it to as well. So let's get straight into the next one. Race week 7. It's Imola. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to stick to Superstar difficulty. I'm going to brave it out and try and get my top 3 with this difficulty level. Reward for first place is 1,620 gold. I don't know, to be honest, how long it is. I'd have to play through the whole thing to see. I don't know if my colleagues have reached season 7 yet. I'm not sure. If I know that Tom's been playing it a lot and Ozzy's been playing it a lot as well. I don't think Ozzy's on season 7 quite yet, but I don't know how many hours. They've obviously put a lot of time into the game. Yeah, thankfully gears are not a problem because it's automatic. Slipstream definitely does work. So it's much stronger if you're close, and you can kind of see the trails coming behind cars. Obviously, when everyone's in a slipstream, it doesn't feel as effective, but I trust me, slipstream works. Like, you can really notice it when you're not in the slipstream. It's subtle, but it works. Alright, let's let the AI make all these mistakes at Imola, and then we need to fight through the field. It's the cars that are starting behind us are the ones we need to worry about in the championship, so... Oh no. Okay, so there's one. So it's Aranza we need to worry about. No! That's our first track limits penalty, and that slows us down. Drops us back to last. Okay, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But I want to know what happens. Like, if I finish oh, that looked like a roll almost. If I finish a championship and I don't finish in the top 3, I might not win the reward vehicle. Does that mean... I mean, I guess I can still buy the car for the next series, right? So I don't think it ruins the career right there and then. Unless I can't afford the next car, and then maybe I just have to withdraw from the races. So maybe that's something we'll try, you know? Like, if I was to just stick to the hard difficulty level and accept that I'm not going to always finish in the top 3, which is how it should be. You shouldn't have to finish top 3 every time just to advance and play the game, right? It should be like a reward for finishing in a certain position, but not a be-all or end-all of their experience. Because if not, what would be the point? So I'll commit to Superstar now, even if we don't finish 3rd. Let's just see how the game progresses, because a lot of people, I think, will obviously be a bit nervous not to finish top 3 and not win the car. Sneak through there, be a little bit aggressive. Down the inside of the hairpin. Up to P6. It's actually been a pretty good recovery, but I don't know where our rivals are in the championship. Through mineral water chicane. Aqua Minerale. Oh, Aranza's in front of us. Okay, that's one of our rivals that we should try and beat. They're now up to P3, so... or P4, so that's something to try and chase. The red and white car up ahead. Yeah, you can definitely feel the slipstream, see? See how I just snuck up towards the green one? Ah, I thought it'd be okay there. That's a mistake. I thought I got away with it. If you hit the bollard straight on, you can get away with it. It's if you cross over the bollard, I guess, is when you get the penalty. Aranza's gone off. That's good for us. I want P4 in this race. That's my target. Nope, we got stuck together. No! Just got hooked with that other car there, and the steering just instantly disappears. So that's something we need to watch for. Tom did mention that in the review as well. You can kind of get hooked on other cars, it feels like. See there, without a slipstream, we're just nowhere. Cars all over the back of us. I've got to nail this last lap now. That one bit of contact has totally thrown our objective for the race as well. That's it. One mistake or kind of getting in the wrong place at the wrong time hugely affects your result. Like, you can lose all the progress in literally one corner because everything's so close together, you know? It's easier to lose it all than to gain it, and it's the same for the AI. So you gain a lot of positions from the AI getting it wrong and having an incident, more so than your good driving. It's more about their bad driving on these difficulty levels. It's going to be P6. A couple of mistakes. Could have been a podium, though. Could have been a podium. Not every car is licensed, no. Lots of sort of almost real cars. Like, if you look at the GTP car, it almost looks like a combination of the Porsche 963 and the Cadillac. It's kind of a strange sort of in the middle, or you could even say the Ferrari as well. I think, no, we didn't get fastest lap, but we're right up there. Look at how close all those lap times are. Very, very close. I think we've dropped to 5th in the standings, but we're only 2 points off of Tane. So, yeah, let's try and do it. Let's see if we can break into the top 3, sticking on Superstar difficulty. Last race. Yeah, F4 is licensed. It is really cool that and I also think it's really cool that they're using circuits that are, of course, on iRacing. Like, I love that. I think one big part of the kind of discussion around this game has been about, you know, people saying, oh, well, this is nothing like iRacing. Like, why is it called iRacing? I think that is a whole debate that you could have about the marketing of this game. Like, it is much more... It's much more to me like a Circuit Superstars 2. The iRacing part of it is the tracks, the licenses, the branding, right? It looks iRacing in terms of the... Obviously, you've got the iRacing suits and you've got the iRacing stuff that on that front. You've got all the official cars and tracks that you have on iRacing, or a small selection of them, that you do not have on Circuit Superstars. So that brings with it already some advantages. Obviously, the expertise of iRacing in terms of the game development to assist Original Fire Games, who actually created this game, the same team that created Circuit Superstars, of course. But really, this is not meant to be iRacing, but slightly more accessible. This is an arcade game with iRacing branding, right? Very, very different. So that's... And obviously, I can say that, but that's an opinion. Someone else might say, no, this should have been, you know, iRacing, but more accessible. And depends on what you compare it to. Like, do you compare this to iRacing, or do you compare it to Circuit Superstars? Well, that's totally down to your opinion as to what you should do. But to me, it's very clearly, like, the emphasis is on arcade, not on iRacing. Does that make sense? I can understand totally the comparisons, though, and why people would be kind of confused if you're someone who's into iRacing and you go, what is this? Like, this is nothing like iRacing. So that's very much about... that's a decision on the naming front, I guess. Final round of the championship, Sugar Hill, a couple of hairpins, so we're just going to absolutely send it. On the hardest difficulty level, we need to beat Tane Kokiri and Leah Hastings. We need to beat both of them to get the points to break into the top 3 here. So that's going to be our challenge. So Leah and Tane is who we're keeping an eye on here. 5,000 gold, or 5,000 credits if you get first place. I forgot to... I should have bought a building to get some boosts here, and I've totally forgotten, because I could afford it now. Let's just see where we end up after this race. Exactly, Hollow, yeah. It depends on where your expectations are for the game. And, I mean, hey, expectations are individual to every... you know, expectations are not something that is objective in a sense, where obviously you've got expectations based on what you want to see and what you hope to see versus expectations on what you've been told will happen by the developers. So if the development team had come out and said this game is iRacing but slightly more accessible, then you could blame them for setting false expectations. If you as a player just want it to be iRacing but more accessible and it's nothing like that, but iRacing and Original Fire have never said it would be that, then it's your expectations that have missed the mark rather than the expectations set by the developer. So, yeah, you could debate about this and discuss about it all the time, but it very much depends on your perspective coming into the game. And everyone is totally valid to be delighted with this or disappointed by this, based on, you know, where their expectations were and also how they find the experience. Some people might hate this style of racing, some might love it. I'm a bit more... I'm not surprised to be enjoying these races in the touring car and the Fiat 500 so far. I'm looking forward to getting a little bit further into the career later on, so we can really see how the perks and stuff work within the campus, and you're going to get a feel for upgrading that a little bit more. But I am more worried about how the races are going to be in like the Formula 1 car and the GTP, because their faster speeds, I'm not sure, are going to suit this style of racing where it's very much bumper to bumper. And from what I've seen, I'm yet to be convinced by that. So that's something that I'm going to keep an eye on, let's say. It's been a great start to this race. I don't want to see there, we're stuck together, and look, I went to the outside, I thought I was going to go for a cutback, slightly got caught, and then boom, I'm down to P7 again. So you've got to be absolutely on it to not make any mistakes. And AI cars will send it down the inside of you, so that's how you have to be okay with being like bold and just sending it down the inside, because you will get caught on the outside sometimes. It's not, you know, it's not like sim racing in terms of how you actually have to place your car in battle here, of course. There you go. Into the top 3. These two have been leading the championship all the way and yet still find themselves right at the front of every race. That was clean. I don't know if I want to lead before the last lap, to be fair. Don't get stuck on the outside here, that's what I've learned, but we'll stick to the inside. Perfect, alright. So, there's a lesson. Don't get stuck on the outside. Hit the brakes, get back to the inside, and then make the move afterwards. That's something you can definitely carry over. That was terrible, getting on the curb too much. Try and block cleanly. Nope. 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 Oh, no, it's Tane. Oh, no. Tane's won the race. I think I might have just dropped it on the last corner and finished outside the top 3. No. Ah, I should have waited till the last lap. I was trying to be too clean and I forgot that there's about 6 cars within an inch of me. So we're going to finish 4th. There you go. Okay, so we're outside of the top 3 in the championship for the first time. We shouldn't win the reward. That's what I'm going to say first. But what happens in terms of progression? Let's just see. Oh, we get a carton of crocolate milk. All right. I mean, that's probably more useful than the trophy, to be honest. We've got 7,500, so we still get a lot of money for finishing 4th. We get our goals, we level up the team, that's fine. So progression still happens. We get the chassis shop. We get the engine shop. I guess that's level 2 engine shop. We don't win it, we just get it unlocked, so we can now buy these things. These are, I guess, the next level. But we didn't come top 3, so I guess we don't win the car. If that was even a thing. Okay, so now, I'm guessing to be able to race in the next series, if we go to the race week, or the calendar. So we're race week 8. Hang on, I thought it was... Oh yeah, so it's race week 9 is next. The only series with a race on is Formula Junior Cup. We haven't unlocked any of these ones yet. So that means that we will need to buy a Formula Junior. Okay. Yeah, we need to buy it to be able to race in it. So before we go and build lots of stuff, lots of buildings, let's purchase ourselves a Formula Junior for 3,750. Yes, please. All because of that last corner. I've had to buy that car. Oh, look at that. We can buy our Amigo. You can turn it into an old Lotus. All right, let's buy the crocolate milk livery for 1,000. Important stuff. We're gonna get some of those traction stripes on the car. I'm gonna use my keyboard for this. We're gonna switch. It's probably not the right shade. We need more pink, less purple. All right, and then there you go. What do pink wheels look like? I don't want to see. This is going to be horrendous. Oh my goodness. Absolutely abhorrent. Perfect, let's do it. And then we need to change that blue. We've got like a kind of... There's a sort of tealy colour, isn't there? So, I mean, again, we're not really going to be able to get it quite right. But there you go. Beautiful. Our Traction Formula 4 dish. I'm not going to waste any money right now on my helmet and stuff because I think we need. With this money I can actually afford to build another building, which is key. So now we can either go for the engine shop, which gives us engine power boosts. We can go for one that affects tire wear, grip, and slipstream, or we can go for one that affects car damage. Now I'm going to say at this point we're going to go engine shop. Like I was complaining about the power in that first race with the Lime Rock race. Tier 1 engine shop, 2,500 credits. I think we can do it. Can you build? You can build over trees, which is interesting. So I guess it just gets rid of the trees. Now let's stick, for now, we can obviously move these things around later. Let's stick the engine shop here. I want to see if these 2 trees disappear. Yes. Okay, you've unlocked boosts, says Crew Chief. With a boost building in place, each new race week gives you a random draw of boosts from what your building generates. Ah, okay. So you get a random draw of boosts based on the thing. So we should get random, I guess, speed boosts, right? You can equip boosts when entering a race. Each boost can only be used once per week, so choose wisely. Well, right now we've only got 1 race per week. In future seasons, we will have multiple races per week that we'll have to do, by the way. So that's going to happen. But for season 1, it's 1 race per week. So that means we get 1 boost per week, per race. Okay. Now, can we click on this? So hang on. If I select this, what happens? Oh, okay. So available boosts. You can upgrade it for 5,000. I guess that turns it into the level 2. What available boosts do we have? Okay. Plus 2.5 engine power. Plus 4 engine power during the first lap. Or plus 20 engine power for 3 seconds when overtaken. Alright, so you get like... Interesting. So I guess it produces one of these 3 boosts per race or per week. And then you can use it either for the whole time. You've got the one that does for the first lap, or you've got the one that does when you get overtaken with a lot more engine power. So that's really cool. I guess we'll see how that works when we want to actually try it out. We can't afford anything else right now, so for now, let's leave those 2 buildings there and see how it affects our week. We've actually got 2 notifications here. Oh, it's 2 more goals we've completed, so 3 vehicles, and we've got build level 1 engine shop goal complete as well. And there you go. These are only for winning the championship, I guess. So essentially, you need top 3 to get your reward, but you need first in the championship to get your series goals XP. So we didn't finish top 3 in the IMSA Pilot Challenge, therefore we don't get our. Oh, sorry, we didn't win the IMSA Pilot Challenge, so we don't get our IMSA Pilot Champion Series XP. That all makes complete sense. So there you go. Wait, I think I've got the oh, sorry, you're so right. I didn't. Is the garage door around the back? Oh, it's around the side. I'm an idiot. Oops. All right, we can rotate this. We can fix it. I think. All right, I need to work this out. I mean, right now we can put it at the end of the street, right? I mean, that's horrible. Let's not do that. How do I rotate it? Oh my goodness. I need to get used to these controls. Can we just select it and rotate it here? No. I want to rotate this. Why won't you let me rotate it? Nope. This is good. We can't have this. What have I done? I'm clicking lots of buttons here for a reason. I'm just trying to establish. I'm looking for a pop-up that says you can rotate it, but I'm not seeing one. We might, you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to build like a 2-tier road because I hate the lack of symmetry here with the garage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build it here, right? I'm gonna fix this. We're gonna build it here, and then I'm gonna build a road, and this is all gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So let's go and build a road, which is free. Comes under decorations. And then look, I fixed the symmetry issue. Oh, that was stressful. All right. We've got a 2-lane road, but I guess we're going to commit to that now. We'll deal with the rest of it later. Oh, now there's a rotate button. So you can rotate it when you're building it. You just can't rotate it once you've placed it. That can't be right. Am I missing something obvious? Probably. Anyway, let's start season 1, championship number 3 on week 9 out of 13. And the generated boost for the first time is fuel additive, so we get more power on the first lap only. Alright, so we're going to have to take advantage of our power on lap 1. You got the Formula Junior Cup at Tsukuba. We're going to enter the series. We're going to stick to the Superstars difficulty. It's been good so far. It's challenging, but it's possible. So let's equip our boost. You can equip 2 boosts at the moment. I wonder if that's something you can unlock when your team gets bigger. Maybe you can equip more than 2 boosts at a time. Obviously, we only have 1 boost to equip because we've only got 1 building. Superstar difficulty. Let's give it a try. Hey, Markness. I didn't realize it was you that's left those comments. Welcome to the stream. I've been really enjoying your messages and your chat on the Discord server, so we very much appreciate that. And you've also been pointing us towards some news stories as they've been breaking, which has been really helpful too. And I've seen you've been commenting on the YouTube stuff as well, so just a massive shout out to the Markness, because your contribution and your chat is great, so we very much appreciate you over here. And yeah, glad you're enjoying the stuff. Mark's here as well. Hey Mark, good to see you. There's multiple Marks. I don't know if the Markness is actually called Mark, but we're going to say there's multiple Marks. Alright, I've got more power on this first lap, remember guys, so I need to sort of make haste while the sun shines. First open wheeler series. Very different straight away to the touring car and the Fiat 500. Now something else to bear in mind, the Fiat 500 and the touring car probably are like front wheel drive cars, so the natural handling is to kind of understeer when you push them over the limits. When we drive these sort of what should be rear wheel drive cars, I'm very intrigued to see if there's any kind of extra nuance to the handling other than just kind of changes in the grip level and the speed and the lightness and stuff. Oh, big crash for the AI in front, that's fine. I hate that we start last for the first race, because everyone's on a level playing field in terms of championship points. We should really start, there should be a qualifying for the first race. But I guess that's going to come in future series. Just feels like I'm a disadvantage for being a player, really. Because I think on this difficulty level with the AI, you know, if you want to have a race where you're very closely matched to the AI, you shouldn't be able to easily come from last to first. You know, it should be like a challenge to get from last up to the kind of top positions. So therefore, you know, if you're going in Superstars difficulty, starting last should only be happening once you're taking the lead of the championship. But I get why they don't want to throw you straight into a qualifying session in the career for this first season. They want to get you racing as quickly and as easily as possible. It is an arcade game. But I know qualifying's in there based on the goals we've seen. Let's try and make this move stick. There we go. P6. An extra lap to go. Come on. Nice. I thought it was Mark. I just wasn't 100% sure. You don't want to don't want to get it wrong the whole time. I'm glad I asked. Last lap. There's a battle up in front though. Three cars. We're just not close enough. I think that's a battle for the lead, is it? 5th, 4th, 3rd. Yeah, that's the top three, all really close together. Hopefully they have a massive shunt, but even then, I'm too far back, I reckon. At this point, I'm just happy to stay in 6th. Middle of the road. We'll take it for race 1. Another collision up in front. No, we're not. We're just too far back. It's fine. Lap times definitely dropped off as the race went on there. Not bad. New best time, no penalties. Happy days. All right. Not going to look at the championship yet. I need to see how because the first race grid order is random, I want to see how the championship develops to see who's fast and who's slow. So we're going to go straight on to the next one, unless we have money to buy some R&D. No, we don't. So that's fine. End the race week. Any management stuff with 1,000 credits? Not yet. I can buy some visors to get some XP, but we'll save that for later. Right, this time we've just got the engine power 1, so that means we get a little bit more power for the entire race. We need it, it's Lime Rock Park, so... Oh, starting from the middle of the pack. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. First time we've done Lime Rock from the middle, so... we'll see if we drop back like we did in the first Fiat 500 race. But maybe not. Hopefully we can stay in the slipstream. Got a brutal comment from NY Vice. Looks like Honda's engine shop with my wooden rickety building. I mean, Aston Martin. I don't know what you guys think about this weekend with how Aston are going to get on. Based on testing, I'd be amazed if they made it to the end of the race. But they have got an incredible facility nowadays. I know it's not. I know we're talking about Honda specifically, but Aston's facility is absolutely incredible. Because when it was being built, I worked at Silverstone, so I was seeing the kind of progression of that from across the road every day, and it is honestly enormous, the campus, like absolutely wild. So they are definitely setting themselves up for like success. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very rocky start to this cycle. But I still think the car looks like it's got so much potential to be, you know, it looks amazing. It looks like the aerodynamic possibilities, the ceiling is high. No! Ah, that race was going so well until I had that contact there with that purple one. It's Diogo. But look, we've got pace at Lime Rock. Starting from the middle of the pack is where to go. The little engine upgrade seems to be helping us, so that's good. And the slipstream, obviously, then, because we're in the middle of the pack, we also get the slipstream. So you've got a power boost and you've got a slipstream. And that makes such a big difference to Lime Rock speed. This is where we need to be careful. Let's not get stuck on the outside of that switchback chicane. See how much time you lose when you're on the outside line. Like 4 positions. Don't get stuck on the outside, people. We need to get to the inside here. Yep, look at that. Oh! That could have been even more than 4 positions there if I had not made that contact. No, don't get stuck on the outside. They ghosted. Right, I can still win this race, I think. 1 lap to go. They're all side by side, so they're all going to crash into each other. That was close to track limits. Come on. Right. Oh, no! I thought he was going to ghost. I thought he was going to cut the track, but he came straight back on, didn't ghost. Boom. We're going to be lucky to finish 5th now. Oh, I definitely felt like I could have won that race, to be honest. But anyway, P5. We're right in the middle of the championship. That's okay. Yeah, Mark, were you not interested in the demo just because it was one car and track that you didn't enjoy? Or is it just because, you know, the gameplay itself? Or what was it about the demo you didn't like? Was it the... Yeah, was it the gameplay, or was it just the fact that you didn't yet have any features like career mode and stuff? yeah, that's fair. It's just, he's in love with the crew chief, that's what it is. I think we're a long way off the top 3 in this championship. But that's okay. You can also, in this game, by the way, later on, you actually can hire drivers to do championships for you that you don't want to race in, which is really cool. We still don't have enough for another R&D thing, so I guess we're just going to move on. I needed a better result. But we should be starting further forward. I feel like I could have won that race, honestly. Like, the difference between finishing 1st and finishing 7th can be one really unfortunate bit of contact. And the points that you gain in the top 3 positions of a race are so much exponentially higher that you're much better finishing 1st and last than you are finishing in the middle of the pack every race, is what I feel. So, yeah, I just need to get a little bit luckier. And maybe be a bit more aggressive. Maybe just like, I need to be smarter. I need to play tactically. Because right now we are 12 points off the top 3. But I feel like I can still win the championship if I get my act together, if that makes sense. So, not kill. I'm going to have to win a not kill. Yeah, it is good. It is good, Lucas. They're very aggressive. But obviously, it almost makes you feel less guilty for being aggressive back to them. I'm never... even when I'm racing AI on like hardcore sims, I try and race them cleanly as if I'm actually racing them in real life. But that is sometimes impossible if the AI kind of don't do it back. Like, it feels difficult sometimes when you're trying to race them cleanly, but you still, you can't have an authentic feeling race. At least with this, it's an arcade game. The only way to really race them well is to race them hard. If you try and avoid contact, you're just going to finish last every race because it doesn't work like that. The AI send it down the inside of you and put you in difficult positions. You do the same to them, and there's no guilt attached. Like, the AI do it to each other. It's basically like, it's part of the game, right? It's like go-karting with your friends. There's just without consequences of any like injuries or danger. It's literally go-karting if you were allowed contact. But it's still therefore is fun racing. Like, it's not as if you're deliberately smashing people off. And like plow it, it's not like going flat out into someone in a hairpin so that they go flying off. You can still race in a kind of nuanced, dignified way, but at the same time, it is bumper cars, and you're kind of, you're using your car placement to lean against different drivers, and yeah. And then you just have to accept that it's going to happen back to you as well. So I really do like that element of it. It's like, it doesn't try and shy away from that. And again, this is a single-seater, so I was a bit more worried about the racing. But I have to say, maybe because it's a Formula Ford or an FF Ray or whatever you want to call it, 1600, and it's not a fast car, the racing is still okay. I'm still concerned about jumping in something with a lot of power, but we'll have to wait and see when we get there. Alright, come on, I need a win at not kill. I didn't even talk about my perk, but I'm pretty sure I got the one that says plus 2.5 power for the whole race, so it's the more consistent one. Same as Lime Rock. We've got the lead, 2 laps to go. We're going to go for fastest lap now. Just go curb to curb, apex to apex. Right. You can see the AI are basically sticking with us. We're not really gaining much, but we're not falling back into their clutches either, so it's perfect. I think this difficulty level is spot on so far for me. 4/10 off our fastest lap, probably because we weren't making any overtakes or getting any slipstream. Maybe it's the tyre wear. But we should be romping towards an easy win here. Yeah. Another 25. 25.2, so we get slower and slower, 1/10 of a second per lap. Yeah, I want this difficulty from a game. There we are, straight up to second in the championship, by the way, because look how many points you get for winning a race. Like if we go to the championship changes here, 20 what's that? 20 points or 18? There's a really weird thing where the points that you're getting added goes on the wrong side of the points thing, so I can't tell how many we had and how many we're actually getting added. But yeah, like I want a game where I can win if I nail it, but I can also lose if I don't. And that's so far what this is, right? So we'll have to wait and see. P1. What is it? What's it like driving around this version of Not Kill? I mean, it's much easier. It's much quicker. I mean, to be honest, Not Kill feels that Mickey Mouse anyway. Like when you drive it on anything else, real life or sim, it is one of the most Mickey Mouse circuits in the world, and I mean that in a positive way. Mickey Mouse sounds like a negative thing to say about a circuit, but I don't mean it like that. I mean it as in you're constantly jumping from one corner to the next, without really any respite, and it basically just it's like a miniature version of Not Kill is just a more extreme Not Kill. Like it very much keeps the characteristic, which is cool, and it does feel like you're racing around Not Kill, even in miniature form. We do have enough money to buy another upgrade, so I guess we're going to go for the one that affects tyre wear, grip, and slipstream, which is chassis upgrade. Now, this time I'm not going to make the same mistake with the garage door, so maybe let's put the chassis upgrades where that tree is on this side. It doesn't quite line up right. Do I need a 3-lane? I think I need a 3-lane road to make it kind of match the whole thing. We'll do that. We can do a 3-lane road. What I don't like about what I've done with this campus here is I've not made it even left to right. I've essentially made a horrible little junction here. I should have counted it and made it even, but we can move things around. In fact, how many? This is the important stuff you're seeing now. How many? Wait, if we relocate this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roads. So 1, 2, 3. So we need to move this like 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that look about right? I think that looks about right. And then we need to build roads. I needed to fix that immediately. Okay, there we go. So we've got like a little campus building here. Symmetry is key. We can buy like trees and porta potties and all that stuff. Well, you know what? Let's do our first important investment. Let's put a loo. We'll put it next to the power. Oh, we'll put it over here. In fact, let's do it over here. Can I zoom in? Where's the door of the porta loo? That's the important part. There we go. No, there we go. Excellent. Now our employees have a toilet. That is important. What perks we get? Let's check out the perks you can get. Actually, I keep backing out of the career by accident. Let's check out the chassis shop and see what perks you can actually get from this. So available boosts, we can get car setup level 1, which is +5 grip. We can get +25 slipstream, so level 1 slipstream, or we can get +40 grip on the first lap. So massively over grip tires early on, more grip for the whole race, or more slipstream. That's fine. So now we get two boosts per race as we go into the finale. We're starting from 11th on the grid. We're second in the championship. We got the +20 engine power when we're overtaken, and we get +25 slipstream for this race. 2 boosts generated. Excellent. I'll take that. And it's our first race at Sachsenring in Germany. 5 laps, second in the championship. We've got to hold on against Berkeley, Argo, and Nadia. That's the 3 names we're looking out for. I don't think I'm going to catch Frida, but I'll try. So yeah, Berkeley, Argo, and Nadia are the 3 people we're fighting against. Do I get my perks? And we win an F4 car if we finish top 3, guys. That's the prize. There we go. So let's equip both of our boosts. So you saw what they were. Come back and slipstream. Superstar difficulty. Come on. Roll off the trailer. Don't know why I've got the number 1 car. I love this track in other sims. Yeah, that means I guess F4 is going to be the next likely championship that we can enter. That's fair, Tomac. That's totally fair. It's whether or not you're going to get that level of enjoyment out of it. Right, we get extra slipstream, so let's use that. Look at that. Huge benefit straight away, so that's very helpful indeed. When I get overtaken, I get... Oh, wow, okay, so I see what happens there. As soon as I got overtaken, I got a little speed boost that immediately let me kind of take that position back. So that seems pretty powerful. The slipstream, very powerful and very helpful around here. I think around Lime Rock, it's going to be mega. Because Sachsenring is... The whole second half of the lap is flat out until this corner here, which might even... that's a little lift. Make sure we're parked on the inside for the last corner. Absolute chaos. I'm totally boxed in, so we're just going to bump draft, or... Yeah. Oh! It's not gone well. Oh, that was absolute chaos, and then immediately a complete nightmare. We can still come back from this, though. These perks are really helping. We're miles behind the top 3, though. Nadia is leading. That's bad. Berkeley's behind us, so we just need to beat one of them. Berkeley's gone through. Right. So we've got to be careful. Nadia's ahead of us. Berkeley's ahead of us. I don't know who's in P2 right now. But I'm going to have to kind of get up with these guys. That's bad. Come on. No. No. Back to the inside. Frida's the one who's leading, I think, the championship, if I remember correctly. No, I was too aggressive there. No! I can't throw this away again. I want my F4 car. Diego was one of them, maybe? I've forgotten the 3 names that I needed to beat. I know Berkeley was one and Nadia was the other. And they're both ahead of me right now. I'm driving very scrappy in a kind of panic here. Got 2 laps to go. I've got 87% health, so I've damaged the car. I've got 52% tyre wear. Yes. Oh no. It's alright. I just had to do what I had to do there. So, oh, Masiela's leading. Okay, that's fine. So I think we should be in this position right now. If I can hold this, we should be okay. As long as... Okay, this is bad. No. I should not have said anything. We're now P9 in one corner. What a roller coaster. Like, what a roller coaster of a race. And now we don't have the slipstream, so I can't use the boosts. That didn't help. My poor Formula Ford has taken an absolute beating. Nope. 7th. That's not going to be enough, unless Diego was one of the people we need to beat. I think I've thrown it. I think I've thrown it away. Track limits later on are existent. I just have not. It's those bollards, and it depends on whether you hit the bollards, or how much you hit them as well. I think I may have dropped out the top 3. Oh, it was Argo. So we've beaten Argo, so there's a chance. But it depends if, you know, if Masiela was close behind us, they could beat us. Oh no. I forgot I had to beat. I forgot because Frida was leading. I had to beat 2 of them, not one of them. It's 4th again. Oh man, right. 2 failed top 3s in the first championship. What a roller coaster that race was. I mean, I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I didn't enjoy when you get hooked and you lose 6 positions, but I enjoy trying to get it back. I need some crocolate milk in my mug right now. My coffee's gone very cold. 135 overtakes is now. We've done 167 overtakes. All right. Wow. We're almost done season 1, guys. We're going to rattle through. We're on to week 13, so our first endurance event. I guess that'll be our first pit stops. I don't win the car. I'm gutted about that. Absolute nightmare of a final round. But now we're on to management of week 12. I mean, I guess I can. I don't want to build right now the R&D headquarters because I'd rather save up for some other stuff right now, immediately. So let's move on to week 13. And just like iRacing, week 13 is like a special week where you get different events by the looks of it. So this time we've got the kind of generic engine power and grip boosts, so that's good. That just makes us faster. We can enter the Fiat 500 Endurance Series. 15 laps. Okay, so 15 laps around Tsukuba. There's probably going to be a pit stop here. So we're going to get our first strategy. So the boost actually really suits us. Let's do it on Superstar. I don't know about the HQ. Can you destroy your HQ? Is that the thing? I don't know if you can do that. Or, like, what was the first building I made? Was it my HQ? I can't even remember. We need to try and upgrade that. Oh, of course, because it's where we store our cars, right? It's our garage. Right, 15 laps. So there's time to make it through the field. I need to pass 1 car per lap. That's the key here. But I, of course, I'm going to have to think about strategy, so I'll keep you in line. There is a Fiat 500 in this race that has my livery from my real car, from my Mazda MX-5. My first ever circuit racing season in the MX-5. That Fiat 500 with the orange and black offset stripe that's 3 cars in front of us. Steve Steven has got my Mazda livery. Okay, so in the endurance event, I guess we're going to have to watch out for fuel. So, eyes in the bottom left, your fuel meter is in the middle. It's between 0 and 100. 15 laps, so we can work the fuel out by multiples of 10, I guess. Goodbye, my old Mazda. Right, we're into top 8, that's fine. Little bump draft. Oh, bad. Tried to park on the apex, got totally undone. Don't know where they're going. I forgot to check my fuel numbers, but I think that there's actually a little fuel indicator now above the fuel, which tells you how many laps predicted based on estimated use per lap, I guess, that you have to go. So we definitely need to make a stop, which is good. So we'll show you our first in-race pit stop. But for those of you who played the demo, you know you can actually come into the pits anyway. So you can see the crew ready and waiting on the right-hand side. Should I go for the undercut? Like, I need to get to at least lap 5, because the fuel tank clearly lasts 10 to 11 laps. I want to catch these lead groups so I can get the slipstream, actually. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. So you're using just under 10% per lap. I think it's like 10 to 11 per lap, so that's easy maths. So any time after the 5 lap mark we can pit, and we obviously don't need to take on in a complete full tank. I said 10 to 11 litres per lap. I think it's 9 to 10 litres per lap is what I meant to say. We'll just call them litres. Makes it easier. Alright, come on. What do you guys think strategy-wise? Pull it in early? Stay in this pack a little bit longer? It won't be a shorter stop if we pit earlier or later, because even if we pit later, we have to take on less fuel. Of course, we'll be starting with less fuel when we start the pit stop, so it won't make a difference to pit stop time. It's just we'll have to think about a bit more about how much fuel we actually put in. But it's less than, it's basically 10 per lap, we're going to call it. Yeah, I don't know about the body roll, actually. I don't think there are other camera views, so we can do this and we can see the whole order with L1. I don't actually know. Are there other cameras you can switch to? Well, that button didn't help. I can pause it. In terms of camera controls, there's like nothing. It's just basically your sensitivity and your panning and stuff like that. Triangle is respawn, so that's not, we don't want to press that right now. Square is brake. Circle does nothing, X does nothing. And we can just look behind us. Alright, next lap I'm going to pit. Oh, sorry vlog life, Jasper. I looked too late for your box message. We're going to pit the next one, right? You can see cars are actually still not in the pit, so no one's made a stop yet. I am going to need, after this lap, I'm going to need 8 laps of fuel. So that means I'm going to need 80%, let's say. So basically, as I pit, I come in, I let them change the tyres, I wait until my fuel hits 80, and then I come into the pits. Our tyre life's just dipped below 50. Oh, I didn't know we were first. That's a nightmare. We were the first pit box, guys. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise. Okay, tyres get changed. 80 fuel, go. I have absolutely butchered the pit stop. I did not realise that we were going to be first pit box, and I went in absolutely steaming in. So that's my bad. Should make the race a bit more interesting. Milena Pennycook is off as well. That's the one thing as well you may have noticed with a pit stop is the fuel goes in as the tyres are being changed, so you can actually, you cannot take just a splash and dash without, you can do that without changing tyres, but if you want the tyres to be changed, you will also automatically take a little bit of fuel. So if you want a tyre change, you might as well take a bit of extra fuel, if that makes sense. Like, you can't, it kind of does it all together, which is quite clever. Alright, everyone seems to have pitted now, so that's fine. Did everyone just pit on the same lap? I feel like everybody pitted on the same lap, which is a shame if that's... Hopefully that's just a one-off. Thankfully our terrible pit stop has not really thrown us out of this race. We've just had to do the work again. Thank you. Someone said how many pits are allowed. I'm pretty sure... Oh, it's Mark. Mark, I'm pretty sure you can do as many pit stops as you want. But obviously there's absolutely no need to do multiple in this race. In other sessions, in either single player, like the kind of free races, or multiplayer, or maybe in some of these endurance races, there's tactics to doing extra stops in order to have more fresh tyres more often and smaller fuel loads. And I'm only saying that because of Circuit Superstars. So as I say, I'm still new to iRacing Arcade, of course, and the actual full career mode and everything like that. But I do remember on Circuit Superstars, you could have different fuel and tire strategies where you pit a different amount of times to your rivals. You can fuel save, you can pull your tires up, extend them out, and that can create some good fun racing as well, because the pit stops don't last that long. You know, you don't lose a huge amount of time. It's all very high speed. One car's in the pit, so maybe one didn't pit the first time. Lawrence. I also love that this race is going to take about 8 minutes to complete, and it's an endurance race. Yeah, exactly, Alex. So that was the same on Circuit Superstars. I'm going to guess it's the same here. You can, like, lift and coast, because if I... So right now, I was going to lift off there, but I've got count. If I lift now, my fuel's still 45, still 45. And as soon as I touch the throttle again, it went down to 44. So I'm pretty sure if I lift off, I can just let Kent push me around the corner. 43, and then back on the throttle. So you can, basically every time you're off the throttle, you're not burning the fuel. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can, like, save fuel in a kind of natural way, and obviously tires will wear more if you're more aggressive and things like that. Yeah, Cat. Well, I understand. I think 8 cars, especially given iRacing licensing and the fact that, you know, there is an opportunity to do so much more. 8 cars at launch feels a little low to me as well. I would have liked to have seen more than 8, because it's an arcade game. I feel like, you know, there's not, even though every car will have its own different dynamics and physics to a degree, it's not like you're having to develop simulation level physics for every car. And I am not physics. I'm not working on physics of a game. I'm not a game dev, so I might be talking totally out of turn, but I can imagine that, you know, it probably could have been more than 8, and each individual car might not have taken, you know, months of development, right? Yes, that's fair. But at the same time, I'm sure if they could have had more than 8 cars, they would have. I guess either 8 is all they could have at the moment, because there was obviously a big focus on getting the game out. And bear in mind, this game was delayed. Like, initially, the game was planned to go out earlier, but they really wanted to have certain features in place, some of which I don't think are actually in place yet, but there were, you know, the game has been delayed throughout development, so it's not as if this game has been ready for a long time and the devs have just slowed down or stopped working on things. So I'm guessing that's why there's not many cars. But also, of course, there will be DLC packs in the future. There will hopefully be more cars when the console version launches. So there's 2 elements to it, really. Maybe there was no time to add more cars, and maybe as well, you know, let's draw that out a little bit and either sell extra cars or give extra cars when different versions and updates happen. That is a normal route for game development and publishing. Original Fire Games are a very small team. Very small team. To me, I'll be honest, playing what I've played so far, this does not feel like an early access game. This, so far, you've seen everything I've done. It's very polished. I've not experienced any glitches. I've got a fleshed out kind of career mode structure. The content is low, but that to me is not... You know, if you've got a fleshed out career mode with all these different series and different seasons and everything, that doesn't come into the question of early access. Like, adding more content and not having much content doesn't count as it should be early access, unless you had 1 car and a few tracks, you know? I think it's early access is more like if there's features missing, if there's very limited content. Early access is basically for a game that is not yet complete and needs feedback to be able to be... Obviously, either needs funding, so needs people to spend money on the game during the development phase in order to actually fund the completion of the game, or it's for community feedback to get more people testing it so that people can actually help improve the game before it gets to its version 1.0 state, before certain features are added or certain things are finished. This, to me, feels like, so far, a polished game that has career mode. It has most, I guess, features. Maybe there are certain features still to be added. I'm not sure. But it definitely does seem like to me, this should not be an early access title from what I can see here. They're able to publish the game. It's here. So there you go. But this is a 100% mark. This feels like a pick up and play for an hour or two, have a bit of fun. You could play this on the sofa. Obviously, I think one key thing we need to acknowledge here is being PC only at this early stage, it's up against PC games, which generally speaking is are more sandboxy. There's more simulation. More people on their PCs have like proper PC setups hidden away in the corner. Maybe they're on a rig, things like that. So this is the perfect sort of game for a console or for a handheld device or for a Steam Deck, for example. And Steam Deck, at least you can play it on. But for PC, you've obviously got so many other options. If someone's there with a proper sim racing setup and a PC setup, there will likely be other games that are just as easy to play but have more complexity to them. So I think this game will be perfectly suited to consoles when it happens. I really do. But hey, like, that's totally fine, the hat trap. Totally. Everyone's different, right? Like, if you're a sim racer, you might want to play less racing games, and you then go for hardcore sim racing and something like GTA or FIFA or whatever it might be. But other people actually, for example, I'm racing fan before I'm a gaming fan. So for me, an arcade racer or a Forza Horizon or, Super Woden Rally Edge or Art of Rally or these sorts of games, I really enjoy being able to sit on the sofa in the living room and play a game for half an hour that I don't have to think about too much. I don't have to practice for events. I don't have to take too seriously. I just jump in, have a kind of like colorful, enjoyable experience with a controller, have a relaxing afternoon or evening, and then get on with my day. And then still I could do a sim race on the weekend, or I could do an endurance race, or I could jump onto iRacing, some other time. That's just me though. That's my gaming preference. It's not that I only play racing games. I would still play other games like Baldur's Gate or something like that, or whatever it might be. But I love, like, for me, yeah, because I'm a fan of racing, it doesn't just have to be sim racing. It can be an arcade racing game. That might not be the case for everyone. Some sim racers might only stick to sim racing and then be happy to play other games instead. And that's totally fair as well. So it's very much down to opinions. Catwo, I said this earlier, but I will definitely reiterate it for you and for anyone else who's joined. It is 100% more Circuit Superstars-y than iRacing-y. iRacing, essentially, to me, this is a Circuit Superstars 2 or Circuit Superstars Arcade or whatever you want to call it. The iRacing part of it is the support from iRacing, probably in terms of I don't know any of the details, of course, of how this partnership works, but let's just call it general iRacing support, whether that's with development, ideas, but also hugely licensing and content. So you've got iRacing cars, you've got official tracks, real-world tracks that have been miniaturized that are also available in iRacing. And that's the iRacing side. This is not like iRacing Lite. This is definitely Circuit Superstars with iRacing branding and iRacing backing and things like that. And to me, that's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. It just depends on where your expectations were at and what, do people, because it says iRacing in the title, do people expect it to be like an accessible, softer version of iRacing that's still serious simulated racing, but is maybe more accessible or maybe more gamified or more like a, Forza handling or something? But no. This is an arcade game. Definitely an arcade game. But I think from looking at the trailers and, playing the demo or anything like that or watching anything on it, you can see that, We have ended our first season, guys. It's the end of week 13. We've won our endurance race. We've got the cash in the bank, which is good. And I don't know what's going to happen now, but we get management on week 13. So, we can upgrade something. I don't think we need to upgrade the garage. Maybe we could buy... Yeah, let's buy an R&D now. We can go straight for tier 2. But let's buy tier 1. Where will we put it? Let's just... For now, I'm not going to spend loads of time building roads and stuff. Let's put it over here. You can clearly, though, you can demolish trees, you can really build this campus, and we're going to upgrade stuff later on as well. For now, though, let's see what happens as we go into Season 2. So we get 50 XP for completing Season 1. Race Week 1, Season 2 begins, and we get some crew chief on screen. Congrats, you finished your first season, and there's our results. So, yeah, 4th in the 2 championships that we did fully on Superstar mode. And first in the Fiat 500 stuff. That's fine. I can take that in Season 1. Oh, look at this. We get plus 5% of fuel back in the last lap is our new perk. But that's not really much use because unless we're doing endurance races. And we can take 5% less. So I guess that's something. But those are our boosts for the moment. First lap boost and engine power when overtaken. And instantly now you can see, week 1 of Season 2, this is where it's different. So previous season, we only had one option, which was the Fiat 500 challenge. Now, we have the Fiat 500 Challenge, we've got the FIA Formula 4 Series, and we've got the Michelin Pilot Challenge Endurance Series. But I think it's just the Pilot Challenge, so it's the short one that we did before. No, it's not the one we did before. Is it Endurance? Yes, it is Endurance. It's the Pilot Challenge Endurance. Or the Pilot Endurance Challenge, I should say. So I guess those will be longer races. And as you can see, the F4, for example, that is a 6-race championship. So this is why, even though it's only 7 seasons, the game will get longer as you go, because you will unlock more series. Yeah, Alex, don't worry, I will. I was a bit nervous about spending money until I saw what series, because I need to buy a car, for example, for F4, but I guess we can do the other 2 championships first. Yeah, I will buy some stuff. So let's go and buy a suit, Alex. So what's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite suit design? Are there any that you did? Any names? Modern. You've got stripe. Shark. My real race suit is both of the race suits I've had. Oh, look at that. Old school aero and agent suits. Excellent. Did you do any of these, Alex, though? Let me know if you did. I can't find my equivalent race suit in real life. To be honest, it's probably most similar to the amateur one. It's got stripes kind of offset to the original one. I don't know. I don't think any of them are. Stripe and reaction. Alright. Let's see. Shark. Yeah, the stripe one's quite cool. I think reaction is that maybe reactor, or is there another one called reaction? Yeah, I think reactor. I do like the reactor one. Oh, amazing. Amazing. I'm going to go for the reactor one for 1,000 credits. Let's do that. Suit, and then helmet-wise, I always like the vertical one. I just think it's cool. And it's similar. My helmet is a little bit specific because it's got like a saltire on the back and it kind of merges in with the color. But I do like the vertical one. You can kind of get the right vibe of the helmet design that I have in real life as well, which is cool. I do also like Multi-21. Very simple. And then you've got like an old Jensen Button style helmet or a Michael Schumacher style helmet. You've got Tony Kanaan, carbon and wood. Sisu as well. I do like the Sisu one actually. Ooh, you like Sharp, yeah. Sharp's got a bit more edge to it. I'm gonna go with Sisu. Visor as well. Acid Splash, Cold Violet. I'm gonna make this helmet look a little bit like my real helmet as well, which I would. Can I get it? Yeah, I can get it. We can try and copy it. Be right back. Right. So obviously we cannot recreate this exactly, but this is my iRacing helmet. So it's got kind of green at the top and the front, and then it's got a kind of saltire design which goes into the blue at the rear, and I've got my name on it. I don't think we can recreate that at all, but we can at least recreate the color theme. I'm sure many of you would have gotten very nervous when I said let me go and get my helmet so I can show you it, but here we are. So the pink section, I think, is going to have to be white. We obviously can't do the saltire, but we need to get green on the top. So the red bit's going to be, we're going to go for the kind of green. Again, we're going to try and sort of match that. I don't know what's the shade of this. It's kind of slightly, I got a slightly different shade of green, the most recent one, than I got the one before. It just depends on what colors are available from the painter. It's kind of slightly. We'll go with that. And then you've got the sort of dark, the Scottish blue, which is a little bit darker. There we go. I mean, it's not quite right, but. Now we've got to keep the blue theme going. It's very difficult to like you can copy the numbers over for the different blues. So what's that first one? 250, 176. 250, 176. Alright, let's do that. It was quite nice with the kind of lighter blue though, wasn't it? I quite liked it with that slightly lighter blue. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to mix it up a little bit. And then my suit is... white is the main colour, then you've got kind of 2 tertiary colours. So the pink's going to have to be green. It doesn't quite match the helmet, unfortunately. I got the suit. The suit was done a long time before this helmet. It matched my first helmet a little bit more. Let's go with that. So 99, 100, 100. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna. I want to make the helmet match. It looks well. No. No. I'm changing my mind every second here, but we'll keep it more authentic. I don't think we can. That's gonna darken the whole suit. But it does have the sponsors on it. It needs to be like a grey, doesn't it? It looks quite cool in grey. There we go. There we go. We've got ourselves a driver. I don't think I could. I mean, I could play the game with my helmet on, which would be a bit strange for everyone that was just tuning in. And I also couldn't hear the car if I was to do that. But I mean, it's automatic, so it's possible. I don't have a... Do I have a pose? I mean... Definitely not. Sleepy. Sleepy sounds about right. I'm pretty sleepy a lot of the time. I don't see how that's sleepy, but we're gonna go for it. Celebration. I quite like the bowing, that's quite funny. Cheers, everyone. A bit of a curtsy there. And definitely not a gymnast. I'm not Sebastian Loeb. Alright. I mean this doesn't really matter, but it gives you an idea. We'll go for the bow. We've spent all our money on important stuff there. We've made ourselves look like a proper race driver. Are we gonna do? Oh, are we gonna have to do a race with a helmet on? Open wheelers. It's like a French flag design on that one. We'll go for the iRacing paint scheme. I will buy that livery for some other car at some point. All right. I hear you. I want to do F4, but I don't think I can afford an F4 car. Oh, I can rent it. Okay. We can do a rental F4. Less money and you can't equip boosts. Oof, that's going to be tough. What's the difference? Oh. What do you think, guys? Should we rent an F4 car or should we buy one? And maybe it would just be for one race, I guess we would rent it, and then I guess we would be doing other races and other series which would get us some money. Rental F4 sounds good. All right, let's do it. Let's rent an F4. Right. I won't be able to hear anything, just to put that out there. Also, I have to take my glasses off so I can't see anything. Right, let's do it. I'm blind. I'm blind and I'm deaf. So let's see how we get on. Thankfully, it's automatic one-gear machinery. But we've also got no boosts because we're renting the car. Superstar difficulty level. So it's going to be a challenge. Come on. I need a tinted visor actually, that would be cool. You just don't get much sunlight in the UK, so you don't really need a tinted visor. P10. I didn't even check the lap count. I think it's 6 lap race. Yeah, 6 lap. That was a clean move. Up behind Leah Hastings. Yes. Right, come on. This is good progress. I'm not very comfortable, but it's good progress. I feel weird without my hands device. Yes, come on. P3. Can the helmet bring us last to first success? I don't even know if you can hear a word I'm saying right now. I'm sure you can, but it probably sounds like I'm in a cave. Come on. At least when it's a rental car, you could just kind of chuck it at the scenery. Martha, you're too fast. Right, stop, push me, push me. The problem is, if you're up against one AI car, they don't crash into each other. They've got no one to crash into, which slows them down. So as soon as you're like a long way behind one individual car, it's so hard to actually have the speed to catch it. Which I guess is the same as if you're out on your own in front, right? It's hard for the AI to catch you if you don't make any mistakes. Anyway, it's going to be P2. The helmet brings us nearly last to first, but hey. To be fair, I am more locked in. Also literally. There we go. 28.1. I mean, we got fastest lap, so clearly it actually improves my my ability as a driver. Yeah, there we go. New celebration. Bowing with my silver medal. Got a helmet here now. Alright, there we go. Fiat 500 challenge, shall we? 3 races. This is the very first championship that we did. Now, I'm going to point out something here. This is a different calendar because the first race last season was Lime Rock. So they've changed the calendar for the championship. I don't know if they've changed the tracks because Maple Ridge was around. So I'll keep an eye out for that in throughout the season, see if they've got new tracks. But that's something very interesting. In fact, we can actually look at the calendar and we can find out. Based on the images. There's no Lime Rock there. So I think... Oh no, that is Lime Rock Stage 2. Okay, I think that's the same tracks. The Michelin one should have Not Kill. Yeah, it's Not Kill. Imola. Okay, so it's the same 4 tracks, but it's just in a different order. Right, NY Vice. So I do believe... I do race with glasses on. So I race with my helmet and I put the glasses on. But the problem is I have like old glasses that I use because it's very easy to break the glasses. The first time I ever owned a pair of glasses, the first time I ever wore a pair of glasses, I was at a race weekend. And it was I only realised I needed glasses because of something that happened at a race weekend where I couldn't read a bunch of signs at Rockingham. And then I got glasses, turned up for I can't remember what it was. It was a test day. It was a Mini Cooper, John Works Mini Cooper Challenge car testing at Brands Hatch. And I immediately tried to put my glasses in while I was wearing my helmet and broke them. Like, snapped the stem clean off. And that was my first ever pair of glasses, broken within, I think it was 2 days of me getting them. So I never wear like my current glasses under the helmet because it's so easy to break them, but just because it's so tight, like the gap you have to slide them into is very, very tight. However, I have like an old pair of glasses which I just slide in that are almost my prescription currently. They're like you know, they help me 95% of the way, and that's all you really need. I would say, though, I have actually... The stem is broken off of my old glasses now, so I'm actually racing with a pair of glasses that only has one leg on it. So it's like, one leg goes in, the other one doesn't have to, and it just looks... Obviously, if you look at it from the side, you can see it, it's ridiculous, but you don't really notice it, because the glasses just sit on perfectly. So there you go. Very stupid. Maybe I should invest in new glasses for racing, but, you know, save money where you can. I'd rather spend it on like some new tires or something, or one new tire. Right, okay. So we've established that the calendar's the same races but in a different order. So let's do the Fiat 500 challenge then. We're just going to power through a few of these races. Let's make some more progress. Yes, I would like the engine come back. I don't need fuel, but I'll take the grip. Done. Yeah, so renting the car does actually take some of your winnings, of course, a certain percent of your winnings. But I still won more from that F4 race than I would from this, for example, even without the renting of a car. Okay, so the iRacing livery's got the iRacing logos. It's got NASCAR 25. It's got World of Outlaws on the back as well. Right, I won this race the first season at this track, starting from pole, and it was starting from pole on the difficulty one lower than Superstar, Masters difficulty. So now we're harder difficulty, starting from the back. Let's see if we can win again, but we got stuck with Victor there. Sneak down the inside. Thank you. Sneak down the inside of Alexandros in the last corner. Yep, P6. Farid, we were in a battle with all of the last season, so all, of course, recurring names and AI drivers that you can sort of build narratives with, so you can, you know, remember drivers that beat you or drivers that you had battles with and carry that forward, which is quite nice, a bit of consistency there. Right, massive battle pack. Obviously, it's only 3 laps this Fiat 500 challenge, so we don't have much time. But if they're in a massive pack, hopefully they all crash into each other on this last lap, and I can pick up the pieces a little bit, because they could all like end up on the grass or cut a corner or anything like that in this pack. Or Farid could get past me. That could also definitely happen. Come on, a bit more crashing, please. I'm so close to catching them. One more lap and I'd have had a bunch of them, probably. Let's see if I can send it in the inside, into the last corner. Right, inside line I need. Yes. I'm only going to get one of them, I think. Just one. It's okay. Good race, P4. I'm really enjoying the racing. Better than I actually expected to enjoy the racing. And maybe, I keep coming back to this, maybe it's because I'm only driving the slower cars at the moment. I've not driven the faster stuff, which is where I'm worried about it. And I've said it multiple times, but I still haven't really had a race. As long as I've been battling with the AI and not been miles out in front or miles at the back, like the first 2 races of this career. Everything else, I have thoroughly enjoyed the race, which is great. And now we're going to do the Not Kill Endurance Series race. So it's 12 laps of Not Kill. Probably a pit stop in the middle. Let's do it in the touring car. And of course, I only get, because there are multiple races a week now, I've used up my perks on the Fiat 500 race, and I've only got this one. But this is perfect because it's an endurance series, so I get 5% of fuel back on the last lap. Let's do it. Hey! Look who's joined us in the chat. I don't know who it is from Original Fire Games, but welcome along. Good to see you. I don't know how long you've been there, but I was just saying, I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it so far. A Not Kill Endurance 12 lapper. This is basically like a little mini BTCC race, but with a pit stop. Yeah. Can you escape out the barrier or something? I want to see not kill reverse added to this game, by the way, because that is, of course, a layout you can race on. And I have raced on in the past in real life. And I think that you've already got the track there, you've got the license, so a reverse layout of not kill would be lovely, please. Maybe the miniature one doesn't have a safety license, I don't know. Right, I've got to pay attention to fuel usage here. So it's going to be around about 10 a lap, so I'm down to 91. Yeah, so it's 10 per lap, pretty much spot on. I'll get 5 back on the last lap with my perk. So I can basically calculate it for 10 per lap minus 5 for the final lap. And it's a 12 lap race. But obviously tyre wear, look at my tyres, already down to 90 as well. So yes, I could pit on the end of lap 2 and make it home. But then my tyres would probably be cooked by the end. So let's see. Got a bit of work to catch up with Kaylee. I need that slipstream. As soon as I've got the slipstream, I can kind of make my way through the pack. It's just when I drop back, you know, half a second and I'm not quite in the big slipstream. That's when you just get frustrated and you're just desperate to get back in there because you lose so much time. On to lap 4. I might do an undercut. And I need to remember I'm probably going to be first pit box. I don't really want to undercut though because then I lose the slipstream. So I think maybe I go when the first person comes in. No one yet. I am definitely first pit box, so let's not overshoot again. Always hit that curb on the inside too hard, but it just kind of hooks me in and actually doesn't hurt me too much. I'm okay. Right, let's pit at the halfway mark, I think. There's a few more going in. Right, okay, so end of lap 6 I'm going to pit, which means I need to do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to do 6 laps, 60 litres, minus 5, 55 litres. So to be safe, like 58. I should be actually okay. I shouldn't need to play it safe. We're going to aim for like, let's aim for 55 litres. Let's just do it close. Because we're already on lap 6 and we've only used 50. So 55 litres is what I need. Taking a big risk, but let's try. We can always fuel save if we need. Oh. I only changed 3 out of 4 tyres. Because look, I'm on 91% tyre life. I forgot that when you change tyres, of course you get fuel anyway. And I only, looking at that 90% tyre life, I think I only changed 3 tyres by accident, so I was a bit eager to get away. Right, head down now, hot lapping mode. That's the curb I always hit. I don't know if all... Now, this is the other thing. I do not know if all of the AI cars will take tyres or they'll just take some fuel. And I don't actually know if you need... No, you definitely need a little bit of fuel. It's tight. I wonder... See, this is a 12-lap race. You need tyres, though. Like, I do wonder if you could just lift and coast a little bit, you could possibly make it to the end. And I'm starting to think, are any of these AI cars going to do the whole race without pitting? But they'll have to fuel save a little bit, and they're going to have no tyre left. I just pitted because it's the endurance series, and obviously if you're burning 10 litres a lap, you have to pit. But if you can burn a little bit less than that, maybe some of them can extend. Let's just see what happens with the right perk and the right kind of lift and coast. Oh, I don't know. Still, at least like 7 or 8 cars that haven't pitted yet. Or did they all pit and I think maybe they all pitted the lap before. I'm forgetting that, of course, when I pitted, there was already a bunch of cars in front of me, so maybe everyone's pitted and they've just taken no new tyres. It's just me that's had a longer pit stop. I'm not sure. I was so focused on what I was doing in the pits and my fuel number that I kind of didn't pay attention to what was going on around me. I nailed the entry though. It could be that, you know, it could be that they just pitted, had a tiny bit of fuel and just are going on one set of tyres, and I've taken new tyres. Maybe I didn't need to. It's going to be rubbish though. P8. After what I honestly thought I was going to finish like top 5 in that race easy. Based on the pace at the start. Oh no, P9. Oh, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. That's our first week of Season 2 complete now. We'll do a couple more weeks, guys. 26.8. See, my fastest lap wasn't bad either. It was just the pit stop. I must have lost all of it in the pit stop. Yeah, nice. So we did show a bit of Steam Deck gameplay in our review. So do check out the full game review. There's a link in the description to that. And Ozzy played a little bit on Steam Deck and said it ran, when you lowered the graphics settings, it ran perfectly smooth. Obviously didn't look as good. And then with higher graphic settings, it still looks okay, but then obviously you're compromised a little on performance. But the main thing is it runs well if you want it to. So that is important. We've unlocked a new Team HQ level, I guess. 4th, 2nd, and 8th, so mixed results in that week for sure. But now we can hopefully buy an F4 car. And we shouldn't have to rent one. Let's just try that. Yeah, £5,000 we can buy an F4 car. I want to upgrade... Oh, wait. Okay, that's fine. I can't... I need to upgrade my garage to buy more cars, but I don't need that yet. Can I sell cars? I can sell cars. Do I sell? No, because I've got the whole series to go. Let's not sell any yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. £2,000 of money still. I also know that at some point, I don't know what team level it is, but at some point you can essentially employ drivers to race for you if you don't want to do every series yourself. So it costs a bit of money, but obviously you win that money, some of that money back. It's obviously not the case yet, but if you want to kind of fast forward through it a little bit, you can hire drivers. I just don't think I'm there yet, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, look. Oh, here you go, Team HQ. That's what I'm missing. So I don't actually have a Team HQ. I've just unlocked it. It's 2,500. So that allows us to hire drivers. So we'll get it for the next... We'll do it for the next week. That's fine. Move on to race week 2. I maybe shouldn't be spending my money so easily. Our boost for this one, we have engine power in lap 1, we've got grip, and we've got health. Fine. Oh, right. F4 Lime Rock race. Fiat 500s at Lime Rock. We'll do the slower one first. So Fiat 500s at Lime Rock. 4th in the championship. We're going to stick to the Superstars difficulty. I'm not actually going to use any boosts. We're going to save our boost for the F4 race where we're at the back of the grid for that first lap. Yeah, let's not use any of them. Let's just see how much we've improved since the first race, and if we can actually hang on in the mid-pack at Lime Rock on Superstar. Hey, how's it going? Very kind of you to ask. It was lovely. It was really, really nice. Very, very nice. We had a great time. Celebrated with lots of friends on both sides. So it was, yeah, just a fantastic chill week. And I managed to totally switch off from any sort of racing game related stuff, or at least I tried to, and then the whole racing game industry exploded last week, unfortunately. So there was obviously the Nacon stuff. There was Assetto Corsa Rally releasing its newest update. There was iRacing Arcade, obviously launched this week, but the access for us to be able to play it as Traction and review it and stuff like that came out last week. There was obviously the Nacon disaster in terms of the filing for insolvency, which is really sad, and hopefully that we can still see all of those exciting Nacon projects still come to fruition, just with different circumstances, because Nacon was involved in so many different racing games, upcoming games as well. So fingers crossed on that front. And then also there was the Maverick Games news. So for anyone who's not aware, Maverick Games, which has some ex sort of Forza people involved in it and a lot of very talented individuals, are making like a AAA driving game. Now it was discussed on the Traction Control Weekly podcast, which Tom, who is watching the stream right now, was in along with other two Toms, and yeah, I'm very very excited about this game. The first screenshot was shared, but it was all under the kind of, it was all happening around the point where Amazon had basically withdrawn from that partnership or that project. So the game was no longer going to be published by Amazon Games. There was a lot of changes with Amazon Games. Maverick Games still seem very determined and very happy with where they're at, and I think there's still a lot of excitement for that game, and that was literally a ridiculous 5th place pack finish. I didn't even realise we were on the last lap. I got so used to doing 5-lap races, I forgot that the Fiats are 3 laps. So there we go. We stay 5th in the standings. 4th, sorry. Yeah, so Maverick Games, amidst this news with the Amazon change, have actually released the first screenshot of the game. They talked about it in the Maverick Games podcast, and I'm just very, very excited. I'm excited to hear more. I'm trying not to get too excited, trying not to get my hopes up too much, but signs are very good. We just haven't seen any trailers, or we have to take people's word for it at this point. So that's exciting. And all of that was kicking off last week too. So basically, everything happened while I was away trying to switch off. And yeah, just trying to catch up this week, really. Yeah, there have been some poor games that Nacon have been involved with. There's no denying that whatsoever. And it's a wider company problem. It's not a Nacon. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a Nacon problem either. It's all ownership groups and other stuff involved. So it's not quite as simple as it might seem. Let's do the engine power on the first lap. Not quite as simple as it might seem, but it's also just upsetting to have those sorts of issues with a company that are obviously heavily involved in the production and the publishing of many big racing game titles. And yes, there have been some disappointing games recently with Nacon involved. There have also been some games that Nacon have been involved with that have been very good. There's also hardware, of course, Nacon hardware. There's lots and lots of stuff there. And yeah, it's going to just have a big knock-on effect. Hopefully, and we have seen that Nacon Connect has been delayed for a couple of months. Hopefully it's like a temporary setback, and actually, you know what, this can work out okay, because Nacon have the WRC license for a rally game from 2027. So we're expecting and hoping for that, and hopefully that still happens. But we just don't know. That's the problem. It's just right now it's precarious and it's in limbo, and you know, we've seen these things happen before and they don't always end well. So I am not feeling my increased power on this first lap, I have to admit, and it's about to disappear. Let's not get stuck on the outside of turn 1. I love the F4 car. Is so much fun, guys. When you've just been driving like the Fiat 500 or something, you've got the speed of the F4 car, but also because it's light and nimble, it's like a perfect balance. It just feels so well suited to this handling model. I did this combo when I was playing the preview, actually, a few months ago. Or however long ago that was, I can't remember now. And this was possibly my favourite combo, F4 car at Lime Rock. That's my first little bit of performance lag. First time I've dropped below 60 frames probably this whole game. We're still P10, but I feel like we're a handful of, we're like literally one corner away from like a top 5 here, and we're still 10th. Look at the pack into turn 1. It's absolutely insane. I seem to really struggle with this chicane. Let's stick to the inside this time, don't get hung out to dry. He says, immediately going to the outside. Right, double slipstream. Bit of wheel banging, that's okay. Up to P6, we've got a clean run through the chicane, is going to help us. P5, come on, 1.5 laps to go. It's getting feisty up in front as well. Right, inside line of turn 1. I feel like I can win this race. Let's do it. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. We're okay. Sneak up the inside. Yes, P2. I'll take it. 2 P2s in 2 races. That was fun. And then we've got a slightly longer endurance race now. That must put us right up there in the championship, surely. Second in the championship. 1 point off the lead. All right. We've not won a championship since the very first Fiat 500 one, so fingers crossed we can do this in the F4. Then we've got stage 2 of the endurance championship in the touring car, 12 laps. So let's get both of our boosts on. It's the final race of the week. So we've got +5 grip for the whole race, and we've got start with +5 health. So I guess we have 105 health. 4,000 if we win this one. That was, again, I'm yet to get to that point where I'm not enjoying the races, or I've had a bad race. I've had like some bad results and some very scrappy races, but I've not yet had a race other than the very first opening pair of races where the difficulty wasn't quite right that I haven't enjoyed. So it's been good. Right, you can see 105 health in the bottom left. I've not even been thinking about health, to be honest. I've just kind of been sending it. But I guess at some point you probably should think about it, because it will affect performance, I would imagine. I don't know if, if damage does affect performance like I presume it would based on my Circuit Superstars and experience from all these other games. If not, what's the point of it? I do think that, or I don't know if 105 damage at the start actually gives you more performance than 100, or if it just essentially is balanced at 100 to start with, if that makes sense. We're using a lot more fuel here, so everyone's going to have to pit and take on more fuel this time. We'll give a bump draft to Abdul. And we'll slide down the inside. Okay. I take partial responsibility for that, but they would have done the same to me. I was pretty much on the grass as well. I didn't even mean to be that far down the inside. I just absolutely sent it. Are we going to have to make... Oh, we're going to have to pit in the middle of this race, because we've got 12 lap race and we've only got 5.2 laps of fuel left. So it's going to have to be at the end of lap 6 pit stop, I think. Trying to run away. Miss me apex. I love following cars around this second half of the lap. You get the slipstream and you just, if there's a big pack in front of you, you just slowly reel them in, and it's awesome. It's really satisfying. I didn't imagine Sachsenring would be like a perfectly suited track to this sort of game, because it's already a little bit tight and twisty, and the middle of the circuit, as in the first half of the lap, the middle on a map is just a bit tricky, and it somehow just flows really well in miniature form. And that second half of the lap, as I say, is just perfect because it's flat out, and it's a bit like Lime Rock in that sense. Once again, totally missed the apex there. We'll see how much fuel we have left at the end of lap 6, and we'll base our usage on that. Right, I'm slowly breaking into a lead. We're not first pit box this time because we started, towards the front of the field after a terrible result at not kill. I like the little flutter under brakes. Come on. Next lap. Yeah, so I got plus 5% health at the start. And what was the other one? I think it was plus 5 grip, wasn't it? So I need to check the names of them. Right, and at the end of this one, I'm obviously going to take new tyres as well, because I'm going to have to take the fuel anyway. So I might as well, I'll basically have to take new tyres. And I'd want them anyway. Right, end of lap 6. Let's see where we're at. And we'll basically reverse it. So if we've got 10 litres of fuel left at the end of this lap, then we will take just over 90. If we've got, 15 litres left, we'll take just over 85. That's the idea. Much easier when you split the race in half to calculate those things. And we've got no damage, which means there's going to be no delay in the pits with like damage repairs or anything like that. Okay. In we come. $12 left, so let's take 90. Where you park in your pit box also affects the pace of the pit stop, which is great. Perfect. And everyone else is pitted and we're P2. So only one person kept going. Beautiful. Right. 20 points in the championship will do us a world of favours. The difficulty on the AI is on the hardest, Luke, so it's Superstar difficulty. But this is the first race on Superstar difficulty where I've actually built a lead, I would say. My +5 grips may be helping me out a little bit. Into the lead. Finally made me Apex. The best sim race, the best esports sim race I ever had was at Sachsenring. It was a series called the Touring Pro Series. That was what the community was called. The league organizers were called the Touring Pro Series. There used to be multiple different leagues and different games and different series, and there would always be one or two going at any given moment, and it was sort of like its own little. It was its own little kind of community and world. It had, there were a few different series, but there was also stats databases of drivers, like overall race results and performances across all the different series within Touring Pro Series as a whole organization. And there were there were films made about some of the series, and there were podcasts discussing like who are the greatest Touring Pro Series drivers of all time, and you had stats to back it up, and it was a whole little world before sim racing esports really kicked off. This was probably around like between 2012 and 2015. And the best race I ever had was a Touring Pro Series race. It was Sachsenring, and it was the Virtual Touring Masters. And it was basically the 1992 DTM cars on Race Room, which are still really popular to this day. And this was when Race Room was like first basically existing. It was the first few years of Race Room. And I was racing the Mercedes. And I just had an amazing battle with my teammates Robert Wiesenmüller, Lars Brugman, the three of us, in these 92 DTM cars, just swapping positions for the whole race. 2 races it was as well. And the 4 of us, the 3 of us consistently swapping places, battling to and fro, and this track for some reason was just perfect for it. The slipstream, the overtaking opportunities, the kind of outside-inside, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So I always have like a weird soft spot for this track just because of how enjoyable those races were. I don't think I won any of them. Two laps to go. Should be absolutely fine for fuel. Still no damage. Tires are fine. It's going to be the only easy win we've had on Superstar. I'm liking the pacing of the game though. I don't even feel like these endurance races feel like a good length. Like they do feel long because you get used to those 3 or 5 lap races. So they do feel a little bit different, and I just think that in this style of game, the short, sharp races are what you want. Like, I don't want this race to be 25 laps. Maybe the not kill one, if I was at the back of the pack, 25 laps would give me a chance to pull some of it back. But you're not going to get bored with these short races, because even if the races are boring, they're going to be over fairly soon. Much smoother run through that double left finally. Thanks so much for joining us, Jesper. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Very much appreciate the support. Mini Nordschleifer would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, no, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I think this is your first stream with us. The first time I've seen your name pop up in the chat, so we very much appreciate the support. I'm glad you've had a good time. You've been there since the start, so massive appreciation. And yeah, have an amazing week. We'll see you again soon. There we go. Endurance win. Lots of cash in the bank. We're going to fly up the championship standings, I'm sure. Not fastest lap, interestingly enough, but we're up to 6th in the standings. But we're only, look at that, the top 6 are separated by 4 points, so we're right in the mix for the endurance championship. There's our character on the podium, bowing to the crowd. Pretty good week in the end. Pretty good week, and we can do some stuff now. So we can actually hire some drivers to do some series for us to speed things along a little bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy a Team HQ for 2,500 credits. We are going to stick it... where are we going to stick it? Should we go in between? No, we definitely can't go in between. Let's keep it going over here. What's the gap? 2. Yeah. 1, 2. There we go. On the corner. Okay, so this allows us to hire drivers. So the team is growing. Now that you can hire drivers, you can assign a hire driver to race in a single race series for that season. So when we come up against a new series, which, to be fair, isn't going to happen yet, it's going to happen for the Pilot Challenge, which is in a few weeks' time. We can hire a driver to do that for us. We still have 6,400, so maybe let's do some upgrading. Let's go for... Should we upgrade the engine facilities? 5,000 to upgrade. Let's do it, and we'll see what... Oh my goodness, it's much bigger. Okay. Multiple garages. We're going to have to relocate this somewhat. Interesting, we can't stick it at the end of the road there. The Portaloo's now in the way. All right, we can kind of sneak it in the back here, maybe. The Portaloo's impractical. I'll give you that. The Portaloo's now blocking the entrance to the garage, but that's fine. It adds a little bit of jeopardy for our employees when they use the loo. Just have to hope that no one's coming out of the garage. I mean, if you play this yourself, you can do what you want with your HQ. You don't have to block the garage entrances with the Portaloo. We get some XP for building our first Team HQ, of course. And now we get extra boosts. So we get engine power 2, so plus 5 engine power rather than plus 2 engine power permanently throughout a race. So better boosts, better... Oh, and we get big head mode. Everyone in a single seater gets a big head. Well, we're going to try that. We're definitely going to try that. We've still got the reinforced parts one. I want to see what the options are for that, actually. Plus 25 slipstream, so slipstream 1 we've got again. Big head mode. I love it. Okay, I cannot view those perks right now because I've already advanced, so that's my bad. Let's see what it looks like to drive with a big head in F4 at Imola. That sounds fun. We're second in the championship, so I think I'm going to spend some boosts on this race because I want to get good results, and we're starting right near the back. So we're going to go the F4 car. I think we're going to go for the big head mode for a laugh, but then we're also going to equip the engine 2 rather than slipstream. I think engine 2 because it's a level 2 boost. It'd be quite handy. Oh, you think the tracks are too narrow, Joe? Interesting. There are plenty of cars that appeared in Circuit Superstars that I think would be cool to have, like, yes, iRacing alternative versions of in this game. So like there was an old kind of 60s Grand Prix car. I think we could do something with the old Lotus or something from iRacing if that license is still available. Maybe it's all legacy content now, but it'd be cool to see a vintage F1 car. Stock cars, of course, would be cool. We can definitely do something with NASCAR. Maybe future DLC, maybe PS5 release. Remember, of course, Circuit Superstars also had Rallycross. iRacing has Rallycross, so I'd love to see some iRacing. Some iRacing Arcade Rallycross. That would be wicked. from chase cam as well. Right, giant head time. It doesn't seem to be giant heads for this little preview, but I'm thinking when we actually start racing it will be. No? Where's the giant heads? Did I not apply the boost? Oh, no, there they are. Okay, the giant heads start when the race starts. Okay. Now I feel like we're playing F1, what was it, F1 Superstars. I've got more engine power, so we should be alright in a straight line. Good start to the race. I've been nice and tidy, and I've gained a lot of positions just from being smooth. And then use the slipstream and the engine power to get ourselves past these guys. Not quite. Too narrow an angle for me. I really want to win this championship. It'll be our first Superstars championship win if we can do it. No! No! Track limits. Oh, that's the second time I've been in a race at Imola where I felt like a good result was on and I've hit a track limits warning. Nope, that's going to be massive track limits. It's gone horribly wrong once again. Ah, so frustrating. I just obviously got stuck with AI there, and I put myself in a dangerous position. I should take full responsibility for that. But that is iRacing Arcade. You've got to position your car sensibly, and obviously just embrace the chaos. That's it. So I'm now on a rampage. I'm going to cause a bit of chaos. Use my big noggin to headbutt some of these competitors out the way. And we're up into P7. Come on. Finally getting a clean run through the first chicane, and we gain loads of lap time. Clean run through the Villeneuve chicane as well. Inside of the hairpin. Another position towards mineral water. Come on. P5. It's going to be P3. Oh, that was a big hit. There we go. Now, again, narrow line through Tamburello. Oh, I've been done on the inside by Milena Pennycook. Come on. Yes. Go for it. Yes, come on. One lap to go. Right, nailed apex here. Oh, I kind of caught Marta there with my wheels. I didn't mean to, obviously, but it's what happened. Might be called to the stewards later. But then I'll just use, again, my massive... I was about to say massive helmet. Let's rephrase that. My massive noggin in the game to headbutt the stewards and threaten them. It specifically said big heads for the drivers, not necessarily for the stewards. So I think we're going to be fine. I can't believe I've won that race. How long before this game shows up on sim racing stewards? Yeah, not long. Okay, we're leading the championship. I want to end on winning that championship. Come on. Someone... Oh, says, nice bouncy synthy soundtrack. Just to warn you, that is not the soundtrack of the game. So, because I'm streaming and I don't know what the copyright situation is with the soundtrack of the game, I don't want to get flagged and demonetized for illegal use of music. I, as most streamers would normally do in these streams, I use my own kind of non-copyright music that I've got the rights to, let's say. So, that soundtrack that you're hearing on the stream is not the soundtrack in the game. But if you've played the game, then you might be talking about the soundtrack of the game, which is also sort of bouncy, synthy music and is really nice. I actually really like the game soundtrack. I'm sorry I can't play it for you. I'd love to, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. And maybe I'd be okay with the copyright. I'm just not taking a chance with that. All right, Fiat 500 Stage 3 is a very short race, so we'll fire through that immediately. We'll not use any of our boosts. I might actually, you know what? I might use the boost. I might skip the endurance race for now, because I want to get a little bit more progress, just so we can see what it's like to hire a driver and try and win this F4 championship. And I don't have too long, so I'm going to skip through the endurance race. We'll do the Fiat 500s because it's 3 laps, and I'm in a championship fight. When we're in season 2, why can't we do our facilities anymore? I'm not sure what you mean, Luke. You can still do facilities in season 2. Is this because I'm not sure I understand the question, but let me try. Is it because you're seeing that you can do multiple races in a row before going to your facilities in campus? Because if that's the case, then that's because basically there are multiple, because in season 2 you unlock more series, there are multiple races per week. So you go to the campus to edit facilities once at the end of each week. Yeah, so you can go there at the end of each week. On the first season there was only 1 race per week anyway, just by chance, and what you had unlocked. This feels like an easier difficulty level. I think it's just because it's the first series maybe. But yeah, so that's why. You will be able to see all the buildings once you've advanced to the next week, which I'm going to do shortly. I honestly don't know, Bistro. I honestly don't know. I would love there to be online matchmaking. It'd be really cool if there was some sort of like online sort of, even if it's really simple, but just some sort of system that you know has either a ranking or something like that, just based on results. It doesn't need to be. It's an arcade game. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be perfect. It would be cool to see. First of all, just some form of matchmaking that's not just lobby based and also, or you know, code based, and also yes, it would be good to see some sort of progression-y thing. Not the highest priority. But yeah, I don't know if they ever will. I don't know. It's single-player focused. We're leading the Fiat 500 Championship, but we have already won that one. But we haven't won it on Superstar, so that's something. Let's withdraw from the 12-lap endurance race. Unfortunately, I would love to do it, guys, for the stream, just because we're in a championship battle. But I want to show you. I need to go quite soon, and I want to show you. I want to try and fight for this championship, and I want to show you hiring drivers as well, and try it for the first time because I've seen it. I've seen other people do it. I've been told about it. I've not tried it. So, as you'll see here, Luke, we'll end the race week. Now you can manage your HQ again, so we can build buildings and things like that. So it's basically just at the end of the week, if that makes sense. Let us upgrade something. So let's upgrade chassis. Oh no, we can't. It's 5,000. Can't afford to. Ignore. What I am going to do, though, is very quickly buy a visor. Very important stuff. Let's buy a... Ooh. Salmon Dreams. Why not? Okay. Start the next race week. Here we go. 2 championships to win. We've got more boosts. Level 2 boost for the engine is plus 16 during the last lap. So that's like a end of race boost. Nice. Plus 5 grip. Plus 2 health when completing a lap. Nice. And then big head mode again. Fiat 500 Challenge, Sugar Hill. We can win that one if I have a good result. F4, of course, it's a 6 race championship, so that's fine. We can hire drivers for the other ones, so we can get through that. This week we're going to do let's do engine power and health. Sure. Hey, Lewis. I love that you said first time commenting, hard question. I think that is a hard question. Is that definitely the target audience? Like, I know it's a playful look, right? And I know that the game should definitely be suitable for that audience. And I think, yes, it is well suited to 5 to 16-year-olds. Because it's, you know, it's a pick up and play racing game, and, you know, the handling is quite benign, and you can get used to braking for the corners, but there's a lot of corners where you can go flat out. It's like, you know, it's a much less punishing way of playing a racing game. But really, this is not about being a gateway to racing games for kids, really. I think it's more a fun arcade game for anyone. It's a gateway to fun for kids and also for adults. Like, I don't think the visual style make it a game that's mostly for kids, but I might be totally wrong. I think it's for everyone. Whether it's their intended audience is 5 to 16, have they said that? Has someone said that? But yes, to answer your question, I mean, I would obviously have a debate about who the intended audience is for this game, and perhaps that's maybe something we need to have an interview with Steve Myers or with the Original Fire Games team to get an answer. But it's probably more, I mean, the answer is yes to the question, which is yes, it is suited to someone between 5 and 16. It's not going to teach you anything about sim racing, but it is going to teach you the fun of, it's basically going to give you a lot of fun in a racing game that's going to make you want to play a more serious racing game. I think that's fair to say. It's going to teach you a little bit about, like, I mean, I could say racing lines, but it's basically just fun, isn't it? And that's what it's all about. Also, like I say, like, obviously that's quite a wide range. 5 to 16 is also quite wide in terms of your preferences. Because when I was sim racing from like the age of 11 or 12, and there are a lot of young sim racers out there who are playing hardcore sims at a young age because you can. And actually, when I started real racing when I was 16, I was using my sim racing experience to help me do well in real racing and learn how to work with downforce and all these kind of things. So at that point, it's like, yeah, you're basically, I think 15, 16-year-olds, yeah, in terms of racing games, they're almost more like adults, and anyone can handle from like 12 above. Maybe even if there's very talented people that are younger, you can handle all sorts of sims anyway. So it's less about the age and it's more about the individual. Hopefully that ramble makes a little bit of sense. Ruthless, I think it's great so far, and I think based on what my colleagues have said about it in the review and what I've spoken to them about, I think we're all in agreement that it's a great game. But I definitely think that the world is not in agreement, and that's fine. That's normal. That's healthy. It depends on your preferences, and it depends on what you're looking for. But I personally enjoy it a lot. We've just won our first Superstars race, or championship, I should say. We're getting a bunch of goals completed here. Superstar champions. We've won a full season on the hardest difficulty. I did not think that was going to happen after our first race earlier today. Oh, we've got Bahrain in the F4. And then we can finally hire a driver. So we're going to do that real quick. So let's do this Bahrain race. +5 grip. Big heads. Superstar difficulty. Ah, yeah. Last to first challenge. It's like the helmet like blows up like a balloon. So we will have higher speed on the last lap, which is definitely worth bearing in mind. There are lots of tracks we haven't played yet on this kind of career mode first 3 hours of gameplay. I mean, we haven't done the Mexico City circuit, Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. We haven't done Miami Formula 1 circuit. We haven't done Aragon. We haven't done Barber yet. So that's at least 5 circuits straight off the bat. Kyalami. So far it's like Maple, Sugar Hill, Knock Hill, a lot of the smaller kind of circuits. Tsukuba and Lime Rock, so that's 5. Have we done more than 5? Bahrain is 6. That leaves 8 circuits left still to do, I guess, unless I'm forgetting some. I seem to be way more competitive now than I was in the first few races in Superstar difficulty. Maybe I'm just getting used to the game. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Like, that's what I think. I think it's visual style. Like Circuit Superstars, for example, was this very similar visual style. The same, essentially the same visual style. And it's like, okay, this is a racing game that can be played by all ages, but just because it's cute and miniature and stuff doesn't, to me, make it a kid's game. It's more about the gameplay. But yeah, it's a totally valid alternative to Mario Kart, and it is a little bit more authentic racy. But I would say, I mean, there's not the same level of rubber banding, although you can add rubber banding. That's going to be a penalty. Come on, I need these results. One mistake and you just get so badly affected. It's definitely like a more serious alternative, yes. But it's not as in-depth, maybe, in terms of, like, the cup system in Mario Kart is maybe better for multiplayer. Like, if you're playing with... Because Mario Kart is not a game you often play with on your own. Some people do, of course, but it's a game you can play with friends. This is... You can play with friends with lobby codes. But career mode is very much single player. But also, like, I mean, I play Mario Kart. I constantly get destroyed at Mario Kart by my fiance, and we are not between the age of 5 and 16 anymore. Right, I should have extra engine power on this last lap. So going on to the last lap, I do have 86% health, which isn't great, but I'm P2, and I'm going to see how much difference I notice with this extra engine power. So I've got a bit of a slipstream. And now, if I can win this race thanks to this perk, it's going to be huge. Right, in the slipstream, close behind. Not enough to dive there, so it's not like super dramatic. It's very subtle. But I am immediately applying the pressure. Sneak down the inside. Whoa, Milena out of nowhere in the last corner, but I'm going to take the win. Definitely a good chance of winning that championship now. 4 out of 6 rounds in. A win should give us a big points haul. Let's see. Yeah, 21 more points, so we're flying ahead of Marta da Silva. Interesting, Lewis. No, it's a really valid point. I'm actually really glad that you guys have brought this up in the chat as well, because I haven't spoken once about the kind of age, the age question, and I think it's because I don't know, with racing games I haven't considered it for quite a long time, because sim racing titles are totally, like, you know, with certain games like Grand Theft Autos or even your Carmageddon, or things like that, the age is quite important. Who's your target market for the game? And obviously there are kids karting games and kids racing games that are more like, you know, cartoony or whatever it might be. But generally speaking, in the racing game space, as long as you've got a race that doesn't have crazy cutscenes or, you know, a kind of deep, dark story, they're really, age is irrelevant. It's more about, can you handle, you know, if it's a simulation title, can you handle a wheel and pedals? Are you old enough to be responsible to race online? And also there's, I'm sure, laws to do with online racing and gaming. I don't know how all these things work, but, you know, you wouldn't expect a 5-year-old to be competing in a Le Mans Ultimate lobby. But then equally, when I was 11 or 12, I was competing on R-Factor lobbies and you know, leagues and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just not something I often think about too much. But having like a kind of cartoonish art style, it does make you think about these things a little bit more. And whether they were, you know, this sort of game is targeted at adults that want a fun arcade experience, young adults, or kids, I think probably just anyone, honestly. That's totally fair, Lewis. That is very, very fair, because it kind of sits in the middle between like it's not a Mario Kart or a Sonic Cross Worlds. It's because it doesn't have crazy power-ups in the same way. It still has boosts and things, as you see, but it's more of a authentic racing alternative. But I also think you're absolutely right. I've talked about this already multiple times in the stream, but it's not a sort of accessible sim racing title, even though it's got kind of authentic racing elements to it. It's very much an arcade game. So yes, you do sort of have to compare it to your Mario Karts and Sonics. But if you do that, it's also a bit more of an indie game than that, and it's less extravagant, and it's not available on handheld and all these kind of things on Switch and on consoles yet. So it does kind of sit in this weird space in the middle. But maybe that's a space that could do with being filled. I don't know. It's interesting. But I think it's a valid concern. I think it's a very valid concern. Quickly to answer your question, Daroa, how does the game determine grid position? It is the reverse order of the current championship standings. So if you're leading the championship, you start last. If you're last in the championship, you start first. Natural balance of performance, natural rubber banding. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it works really well. So I don't want to spend any money. I want to essentially hire a driver to do a series for me. We've got generated boosts, we've got a penalty shield. That is interesting. So it shields you from a big penalty for cutting the track. You've got extra fuel in the last lap, extra grip, and 20 engine power for 3 seconds when overtaken. So that's pretty good as well. Okay. So you can see here, there's one series we can enter, and we are going to hire a driver to enter the series. So this is the first time we've done this. We're going to enter the Michelin Pilot Challenge, which we did last season, finished 4th. But instead now, you look, we've got the option to send a driver. So we don't have to race ourselves, we don't have to withdraw, we can send a driver. Now I'll click on this, and there you go. You've got Greg Grill, Velocity, and you've got Isabella Ignition. They've only got 1 or 2 stars of ability. You've got Expeditious, a closed wheel expert, and an open wheel expert. So you can basically, spend your money on a driver that you think will suit the series. Now, the Pilot Challenge is closed wheel, so I'm not going to spend 3,000 on a 2-star driver that's an open wheel expert. I'm going to spend 1,000 on a 1-star driver that is a closed wheel expert, because I think that makes more sense. And it's the difficulty level for the series is also 1 star. So clearly there's like a difficulty rating in terms of the specific series, which is maybe why the Fiat 500 series was so easy to win. So we're going to go with Velocity as our driver. Will we give Velocity any boosts? Not really. I think I'll say... No, I might as well, because I'm going to have the... I've only got one other race this week. So we'll use the fuel one, and we'll also use the... engine power or grip. I want to try the penalty shield one with the Formula 4 race. I'm going to do the overtaken one. Start race. So this is going to simulate the race. Here you go. So we're starting P10, racing through the field up to P8. Come on, Velocity. Still in P8, up to P5, and we're going to finish P5. Okay, so we, I guess, finished the first race in P5. There we go, 10 points. So I didn't have to do that, but that's a way of like progressing through without racing in all the series. But still, if you hire a driver for a low enough amount of money and you can still win enough prize money, it's going to be worth it for you to do. And then we have our first Aragon race in F4. So 2 races to go this championship. I want to get through to the end. Oh, good point. Very good point, Kieran. We'll do that. Friendly steward and car setup. Let's go. Superstar. So we should be able to get away with one penalty. I don't know if it's just one or if it's multiple. Okay, we've just used it. All right, so you get away with 1 penalty, and I've just used it immediately on a track that I don't know very well. That was a terrible idea of testing it, but now I know. So, and it makes more sense. So you're shielded from 1 track limit penalty. I'm guessing, though, that means you can cut big time. If you've watched our review, you'll know that that was a concern for Tom, the fact that you can essentially just like cut the whole first chicane at Paul Ricard, for example, and if you have a penalty shield, you get away with it. So it does feel a little bit overpowered. But hey, it depends on what track you're doing, and obviously I've used it by accident there, just to kind of test it out. Aragon is a circuit in Spain. It's quite a modern circuit, but it's weird. Whenever I see a race at Aragon, I instantly kind of treat it the same as like Istanbul in Turkey. The layout to me is very similar to Turkey. You've got the first corner is a left-hander that's not super tight into a right-hander. That's the same as Turkey. You've then got this kind of sweeping section through the first sector, which is a lot of slow left and rights. And then you've got this fast left onto the back straight. And then the last sector of the lap is almost Turkey-esque as well. You've got like a left-hand hairpin, and then a right-hander, then a left-hander. So it's very, very similar in multiple ways to Istanbul. And in my head, for some reason, I can't shake. Whenever I drive at Aragon, I just feel like I'm almost driving Istanbul. It's very strange. Alright, P5. That's totally fair. Vice, yeah. I can see that. I can completely see that. I'd be very curious to see the exact response to that question if you were to ask that to iRacing and Original Fire. Is this a kids game? I'd be very curious. I think they would say yes, but it's also like, you know, in the same way like a Pixar film. Yes, it is a kids game. It's a kid-friendly game, but you can also find joy in it no matter what your age. I think that's probably what they'd say, but I don't know. I would be intrigued though. Up into the lead. Yeah, no, Mr. Ninja Fish, I think that's like, yeah, 100%. I think it's great to have more kid racing games or kid-friendly racing games. So that's perfect. I guess it's more like if you're not a kid, you might want this to be a game like, you might be like, oh, it's not designed for me, it's designed for someone else, but then at the same time it is designed for you. Like, I think this game, what would this game do differently? What would this game do differently if it wasn't designed for kids, right? If it was designed with adults in mind, would it just not exist? Like, or what would it do differently? I don't know. So therefore, I think it is just like it is just a family-friendly racing game. So yeah, I can't see the fact that it's a kid-friendly game, or if you think it's been designed for kids, I don't see that as a negative at all. It's just maybe just not a game for you. Yeah, family, yeah, 100%. Right, I'm kind of being distracted here, but this result is very important, because if I can win this race, I'm pretty much safe on for a championship win, superstar level in F4, and if I get hit like that, I could drop back to 7th, and suddenly I'm going into the last round with a lot of pressure, so, yeah, I need to focus up in this last lap. Just stick to the inside, be careful. Ow. Almost out of fuel, actually. No! That's bad. 2 cars down the inside. I'll let it happen. Then we've got to switch back to the inside now ourselves. Come on. P6, 3 corners to go. Ow. That actually, I got rear-ended into that hairpin, and it's probably helped me, to be honest. Oh, it's going to be 5th. Ooh. Song Seo Jun, I think, might be our championship rival, and they won the race. But I think we're still leading the championship. Let's see. Yeah, they were 3rd. Okay, Marta was 2nd. All right, we're still leading by 14 points. 1 race to go. We just gotta finish somewhere near the top. And that's the end of that week. Very good advice earlier to upgrade my car, upgrade my shop from Kieran. So I much appreciate that. I will do that right now, because if we upgrade the garage, then we have space to win a prize car. 7,500, very important. Unfortunately, it's ruined our symmetry, but we'll survive. And then we're going to start the next race week. What's the prize car for this series? Is there one? I don't know. You can't view it in the calendar, maybe. Oh, cool. I'm glad it looks fun. How do we view what car we're going to win? I don't think there is. I'm not seeing anything, so maybe we don't win a car. Either way, we've got one more space now. So, stage 2 of the Michelin Pilot Challenge is, of course, powered by AI, so we'll do that first. Send our driver. So now that we've signed Velocity up for the season, we've spent our money, and now basically Velocity can just go on earning us a little bit of money. Not as much as I'd do if I was driving myself, but there you go. So we can now do 3 boosts per race, so we only need to give Velocity 1. Let's give them... Pit crew works 10 faster, 40 grip on the first lap. I mean, I kind of want... Yeah, I want all of these things. Glass rocket looks fun. More engine power, more grip, but more damage. Maybe that's a bit bold, but let's try it for fun. So this basically a pointless perk of pit crew for the AI. Right, come on, Velocity. Up to P6, up to P5, oh no, 7. I like this animation for a simulation of a race, being able to watch it lap for lap. It's quite fun. To answer your question. I could be playing on I could play on the wheelbase. No, I don't think this is, this game works on a wheel, right? We're actually sitting 4th in that championship, so that's pretty good. And now we've got our F4 finale, so this is what it's all about. Final race, 6 laps, we've got a 14-point lead. Song and Marta are our rivals. We're going to have crazy perks. We're going to have +8 engine power on the first lap. We're going to have +40 grip on the first lap, so we're going to be an absolute rocket on lap 1. And then we're going to be faster but more fragile on everything else. So, there you go. 9,400 if we win. Let's do it. Oh, cool, Muck Muck. Yeah, we're at now, what, 3 hours and 15 minutes? I started a little late because I couldn't get the controller working, so... It's great. I'm really enjoying it. Very enjoyable. And driver, I will look into that at some point. That's something. I've not done enough controller streams. I'm usually on the wheel, so I haven't really put any consideration into getting controller inputs on screen. That would maybe be cool. And I'm not going to drive like this the whole way. I mean, if I try and race like this, it's probably not going to end super well, considering my arms are literally twisted around each other. Okay. So I've got to be careful for contact because of the damage, but I should have crazy grip and power on this opening lap. So we're going to take advantage of that. I mean, the car feels absolutely rapid. There you go. P1. Okay, that perk works. Oh no. Ow. Oh no. Look at the health meter with that impact. I'm down to 66% health. I was totally caught out coming back off the grass there, and now we're in big trouble because I do not have any speed. You can see me dropping back. I've got smoke coming out the car, and I need to get the points. And Marta's leading. No, I don't like it. Out of curiosity, okay, you can restart races. I just wanted to check. This is not good. I regret the rocket perk immensely. No! Look, I've got nothing. I'm down to last. Okay. No, we're going to try that again. I don't usually do restarts. You guys know me. I like to, if I deserve to be punished, I will take a punishment in a racing game. But I really want to win this championship. So now that I know how stupidly intense that damage is, I'm going to do this again and be a bit more careful. I mean, I'm still getting quite a lot of damage in these opening laps. I've just got to use the speed while I've got it. Come on. Nowhere near as competitive on the opening lap. I was taking it a bit easier. Ow. So, note to anyone watching, the rocket perk is, you got to be careful with it. %90 health. Leah and Song, so Song's P2, that's okay. Finish like this, we should win the championship. You can see how much stronger the slipstream animation is in this car than the touring car earlier. I think that's a reflection on the the type of car it is, because the slipstream is generally more strong with like an open wheeler. So I'm guessing that's that reflected in the kind of visual, like how much quicker you manage to actually get a sort of visual slipstream. The Song's up to P1 now, so that's a risk. I need to keep in P2 just to make sure I'm comfortable points wise. 3 laps to go. Send it. Safest place is out front. Oh, great move. Great move from Song. I can't turn in on that. I'm going to have to leave the room and then avoid a contact on the exit, but that's okay. We'll take P2 again. Martha's now P3, so the top 3 of the championship, top 3 in the race. I say that, drop straight back down again. Nope. Oofed. Right. Don't turn in. Protect the car. It's actually so tense, even though I know that I've got the points advantage. You just can't relax for a second. Perfect line. I was a bit rude, I'd say. Wheel-to-wheel contact with Song on that opening corner. But it's iRacing Arcade. I'm going to take it. There we go. F4 champion. Second championship win. We did it. Have you tried trail? No. I like it though. It's just like, do you know this game? Yeah. Straight away, I'm enjoying the career structure. I think the pacing's pretty good. It's quite fast, but I can see how quickly you could overdo that and make it feel a bit slow. So we're on season 2 out of 7, but these seasons are only going to get longer. I like the pacing. I like the kind of HQ building. It's simple enough to be pick up and play, but I also feel like I could spend more time on it and sort of, create the campus my own way, like with the roads going wherever. I can obviously buy, decorations the further in I get. Focus on performance now, focus on that stuff later. That's all normal. But every single race, bar maybe 2 or 3, if you count the race at Sachsenring where I got out in front, every race but 3 was entertaining, enjoyable. I'm not bored. I'm 3 and a bit hours in. I could keep going for ages. Like, it's really, really good fun. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on my first kind of playthrough of the career impressions. It is obviously I've just been focusing on career, right? And I think that's what this game is built around. But I think they've done a really good job with what I've experienced so far. I didn't get as far as the Formula 1 car. I didn't get as far as the GTP, the Porsche 911 Cup car. Maybe with those faster cars, based on the preview build, maybe the racing becomes more tricky. I can't say yet. I need to get there. But the early couple of seasons, obviously in the cars that we've got, I've really enjoyed. Superstars difficulty, I thought it was going to be too challenging. Do you know what? It's actually really nice. as it is for me right now. Like, I feel like I can win a championship, as you've just seen, but also lose a championship or come fourth, even though I'm trying to win it, just by one corner. Like, one mistake, one bad bit of contact with the AI, and it's all gone. And yet, you can still sometimes recover. So, it's been a very positive opening day for me personally. Clearly, not everyone's going to have the same view. That's absolutely fine. I can only give you my opinion. But generally speaking, it seems like people are enjoying it. I definitely know that my colleagues have enjoyed it. I know that some other reviewers maybe less so. That's fine. I do think there needs to be more. I think there needs to be more content, which is going to come in future. I think it would be cool to see more multiplayer features rather than just simple friend codes with lobby codes with what am I trying to say? Lobbies with codes that you can join with friends and stuff. I would like to see more on that front. But as a single career experience, it is fun and engaging, and I'm enjoying it so far. Longevity seems to be. I mean, I guess that's something we can't test yet, right? I can't tell you how fun this game is after 10 hours or 20 hours because I've only played it for 3. So we'll get there. But it's also not a £60, £70 game. So if it's fun for 10 or 20 hours and you pay 20 quid for it, hey, you know, that's fine. That is fine. So let's see where it leads. We get our champion XP, which should be, I think, 500 XP. Masters, and then, of course, Superstar. Interestingly, we get 100 XP for each of these different difficulty levels for this series. We only got 50 for the Fiat 500 in the early series. So clearly, the harder the series, the more XP you get, which is really cool. Now we're up to team level 10. We've got new suits, new helmet designs. What's that? New suit as well? Or is that... No, that's a pose. And a celebration. F4 trophy. And we've unlocked the next tier of Team HQ as well. Wow, straight up to tier 11. Alright. Very good. And we're going to leave it there. Hang on. We're not leaving it. Whoa. Whoa, I pressed the wrong buttons. I'm not just literally running away that quickly. I muted my mic and literally ended the stream there. No, we are going to leave it there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the stream, let us know. Obviously, once the stream is ended in a few minutes' time, you can leave comments. I'd love to hear your opinion, but also let us know your opinion in the comments section of the review, and let us know your opinion on our Discord server. There's information in the description if you want to join the chat over on Discord. It's very chill at the moment. We've got a few people that are in there chatting regularly. We're seeing all the messages come through. You can also ask us questions for our Traction Control podcast, which is weekly on the Traction Control podcast channel. You can ask us anything on there, and we will endeavour to answer it in future podcast episodes, or if it's something we can answer on the spot, if it's a query you have, and it's something that either us or someone in the community can help with, then we will do so. So make sure you join the Discord server. Thank you so much for joining the streams, guys. It's been huge fun for me playing it. I hope it's been fun for you watching as well. Just lots of great action. Literally, frenetic action, race for race. Every single lap's good. And oh, Tabs has arrived right at the end. I'm sorry, Tabs. You can watch it later. You can go back and watch it later. It's been really fun. It's been really good fun. Just don't watch the first 10 minutes where I couldn't get the controller working. That's less fun. Much appreciated, guys. I don't know if I'll be back for another stream later this week. It depends on a few different things. We will see. But of course, as always, we'll have videos coming up. We'll have more streams coming up. We will have plenty of articles coming up. And we will have a weekly podcast over on the Traction Control podcast channel or on your favourite podcast platform. So like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Go find it. All of the usual YouTube call to actions that everyone has to do these days. But aside from all that nonsense, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for all of your comments and your support for these streams. And yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much. Have a good week. Bye. I am actually ending now, I promise.